Straight away, let me tell you that Bellevue won the toss and will be going from gates 2 and 4 this evening here at Wimborne Road. Kelvin Tatum alongside me. Kelvin, what a night Monday was. Huge credit to Bellevue. They were 13 points behind after 6 heats. They pegged it back, levelled it. Game on here tonight.
Indeed, it was vital really, because the Pirates had started so well and there was no question that the Aces were nervous. Heat 2 was a desperate race for the Aces, and yeah, the Pirates hit the ground running, but the last 3 heats in particular, the way they turned it around the home team was fantastic, and to get back to 46 all was an outstanding effort.
15 heats tonight to decide it, possibly more. Golden heats a possibility tonight if it goes the distance. Let's remind you of that dramatic night on Monday in Manchester. Perfect weather here in Manchester. It's the first leg of the grand final. It's Bellevue Aces and Poole Pirates. Nielsen's made a tiny start. Battling away with the man in blue, Stefan Nielsen! Oh, down he's gone! Excluded from the restart. It's going to be a gift of 5-0 for Poole. That's a good start from Watt, but significantly Waddle is in the back again, and Davey Watt has the lead, and coming around is Paul Stark as well. Max Frick in trouble, Bellevue in trouble, and the Poole Pirates are marching on here in heat number 5. Oh! Grzonik touches and takes, but he's disqualified. Scott Nichols in blue. They really are not helping themselves. Poole Pirates are absolutely tearing Bellevue apart here now. Amazingly, they're 13 points ahead after only 6 heats of the grand final.
Yeah, maybe we're getting taught a bit of a lesson here, but we're not going to panic. We can turn around now.
Matty Zagar, any points he scores against the Poole rider will count for double here. Take tries, and Zagar's made a good start. North's in there though, battling away.
Oh, cuts down. Oh, that looks like that could be gone.
And that is a huge blow to the Bellevue Aces. Big race coming up, heat number 7. North very touchy at the start line there, but he's made the start indeed. It's Matty Zagar around the outside and go to North. It's the Super Slovenian Matty Zagar. First heat advantage of the night.
Carl Newman's going without goggles. He's going to have to make...
One to Poole, and that has just quashed Bellevue's recovery. The rule book suggests that goggles must be worn, so Kyle Newman rode without goggles could well be illegal. Bellevue on a 4-2, how they would love a 5-1, here it comes, Matty Zagar!
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from Zagar, charges into the bottom corner for the last time, hangs on for second place. Finally, the home crowd have got something really to get excited about.
It's a great start for the Aces. They're on a 5-1. They're closing that gap even more here now.
Yes.
This grand final is still alive. The lead is now down to 2 points in Poole's favour. It's game on in Manchester. Last ever speedway race around Kirkmanshue Lane. And it's a great start for the man in red, Craig Cook. Now what can Zagar do? What a ride from Zagar up the sea, the inside to come through into third. Now we're heat 6, they were 13 down, and they're going to be level going to Poole. That is some comeback on a memorable night at Kirkmanshue Lane. Yeah, Bellevue certainly threw points away early on there, and they could argue Kyle Newman rode illegally in getting a 5-1 with no goggles. The rule states you have to wear goggles, but once the race is declared, it cannot be changed. The result stands, and now it's level pegging, and Bellevue with that fight back really was truly remarkable.
Yeah, it was a fantastic move, and you've got to say that great credit goes to Craig Cook, who, apart from just getting off the bike in the first turn once, was unbeaten on the night. Zagar coming back after that, a long period of injury, under a lot of pressure, the number 1 man performed brilliantly, and it sets it up nicely for tonight, doesn't it?
And we have 2 unchanged sides ready to do battle, starting here with the Poole Pirates, the home side. And the skipper of the Pirates is the former World Under-21 champion, Maciej Janowski, known as Magic. They'll need some of that from him tonight. Leading the charge at number 1 is the 2012 world champion Chris Holder from Australia, and very experienced Davey Watt goes at number 2. He's won league titles before. Dakota North goes at number 3, a good signing in the close season for the Pirates. Kasper Gamolski goes at number 4, had a nasty crash in the first leg, but he's here tonight. And down at reserve, Paul Stark, who had a fantastic evening on Monday. He's partnered by Kyle Newman in the reserve position. Kelvin, who's your man to watch?
I'm going to go with Maciej Janowski, the captain. He was instrumental in winning the grand final last year. He really did lead from the front. He's a man that really has blossomed in the last couple of years. He's a fully fledged Grand Prix rider now, a Grand Prix winner in actual fact. Didn't ride very well on Monday night. Needs a big performance tonight here this evening if they're going to win the title.
Yep, well, it'll be interesting to see how Janowski responds here this evening. Huge atmosphere, it really is fantastic to be here. Let's take a look at the visitors here tonight. They are the Bellevue Aces. Plenty of experience, a skipper of the Bellevue side. It's Scotty Nichols, 37 years of age now, still a class act though, riding at number 4. Number 1 is the Slovenian Grand Prix star, Mati Zegar. He's won Grand Prix in his career. He knows all about the big occasion. Max Frick rides at number 2, the talented 19-year-old Australian. Josh Grzyonic rides at 3, a former Poole Pirates man, won the league with them last year. Craig Cook had that fantastic night on Monday. He goes at number 5. And now at reserve, Stevie Worrell and Stefan Nielsen have to deliver the goods down in the bottom end of the team. Who's your man to watch, Kel?
I'm going to go with Steve Worrell at number 6. Worrell coming into the playoffs had been instrumental in them making it. Had been riding brilliantly well, but on Monday night, I just sensed that the occasion got to him. Made a few mistakes, jumped the start a couple of times and really wasn't himself. Very important for this man tonight to come up with a big score.
Yep, very much so, and he's been one of the big hitters in the
Absolutely.
Elite League reserve positions this year, along with the likes of Jason Garrity at Coventry. Steve Worrell has been hugely effective. They're the two sides doing battle on track tonight, and we've got every angle covered for you once again here this evening at Wimborne Road in the grand final second leg. Our team, Chris Louis in the pits with all the pit lane gossip and information and all the interviews as well. But first of all, taking a look at the track, Simon Stead back with us tonight. Simon, you're down there on ground level. You can feel the atmosphere. What about track conditions? Huge night here at Wimborne Road.
Massive night, Nigel. It's the crowd's buzzing. The atmosphere coming from the grandstand is absolutely electric. The track conditions are probably a little bit slicker than I expected. Certainly slicker than the semi-final that we saw here the other Monday. They've not ripped the outside line quite as far down as what we've seen them do, and I think the start line is perhaps a little bit slicker than it's been in the past. Gate 1 looks very, very good. I think they need to take advantage of that early on. But 2, 3 and 4 are perhaps a little bit slicker than I've seen. It's going to need a big performance from the outside gates to get across the boys on the inside, so it's going to need a big performance from the 2 number 1s coming off the outside early on. So big night. The track conditions are very, very good, albeit a little bit slick, but I expect some fantastic racing.
Let's hope so. Simon, thanks very much. Yep, Simon Stead keeping us right up to date with the track conditions and how the riders are riding the track as well on ground level, and now building up to the action in the pits for us tonight. Here's Chris Louis.
Yes, just 15 heats remain in this grand final for these two sides to show us just who is top dog in the Elite League 2015. The skippers are here with me, and Scott, well, it's remarkable that you guys have got it all square coming into this meeting. Halfway through the first leg, it looked all over.
It did, but you know, we showed a lot of strength and character to do that. So no, we were looking to come here with a lead, but we're coming on a level playing field. But like I said last time, you know, I don't think many people expect the Poole to come and get a draw at our place. Not many people expect us to get a win tonight. That's what we have to do. That's what we're here for. It's been a great season. We've got everything to gain.
History suggests that the Poole Pirates are the favourites, and you suffered a little bit at reserve in the home leg, but away from home, maybe underdogs going into this meeting, maybe less nerves for those guys.
Definitely so, you know, they struggled, you know, it's a massive occasion, and one that they've probably never been in before. You know, the pressure is off our boys now, and it's firmly on the Poole boys, so hopefully that can let our boys just settle down and go out and enjoy racing. Whatever happens, it's been a great event so far, but we want the win.
Best of luck, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Maciej, Simon's out on the track. He's just talking about the atmosphere in the arena. You can feel it even here in the pits, can't you? It's really building.
Yeah, of course, it's amazing. When we came 2 hours before the meeting, parking area was full. So yeah, that's amazing, you know. And yeah, I really enjoy it, and I'm happy that many people want to support us.
Neil Middleditch asked you guys not to get complacent halfway through the meeting at Bellevue when you had a 13-point lead. That went down to nothing. So you've added a little bit of pressure to tonight.
Yeah, you know, always in Bellevue is hard, you know. I have not so good night, and I don't feel good on this track. and in this day. But today is different meeting, different day. So we all know what we can get and what we can lose. So we all know what to do.
Good luck for tonight. Thank you, Maciek.
Thank you.
Let's go, Magic.
This is a proper speedway race.
One of the biggest crowds we've seen in 17 seasons of covering Elite League Speedway on Sky Sports. It is packed to the rafters. Will there be a pirate party come around 10 o'clock tonight? Or will it be the Aces who hold the trump card and go on and claim a league title for the first time since 1993? It is all set up beautifully. 15 heats are decided. If we're level at the end of heat 15, we go to golden heats, which is effectively a straight shootout. The first heat advantage will win the league title. Now, here we go. First race of the night. And what a lineup it is as well. We have some world-class riders here all across the grid. We have Davey Watt going off the inside for the Poole Pirates in the blue helmet. Max Frick, talented young Australian, gate 2, yellow and black for Bellevue. Chris Holder, former world champion, gate 3 red for the Pirates. Matti Zagar, Grand Prix rider, off the outside in white for Bellevue.
Yeah, super looking lineup for heat number 1. Of course, a repeat of Monday night's heat number 1. Davey Watt on the inside, vastly experienced rider, riding with the number 2 on his back. Very handy to have a rider of that experience riding in that position, and he goes from the inside gate. Simon Stead said that the inside gate looked like it could be an advantage. Can Watt take advantage of that position in the opening race? Zagar, man on the outside, hugely important heat for him. Really can set the tone for the night. Heat number 1. Can Zagar pick up a very, very important win? Heat number 1 here.
First race of the night, and the tape tries. They're going into that first turn. Max Frick is there. Watt's on the inside. Now Holder will try the outside run. Here comes Zagar. But Poole on a 5-1 as it stands. Davey Watt, you can be sure, will be looking over his shoulder. There he goes, straight away. Looks over his right-hand shoulder. And Chris Holder is the man alongside him. Now Matti Zagar is going to have it all on here. He's going to need to use all his world-class Grand Prix ability to try and split these two.
And in front, the Pirates started fine style. Watt off the inside, took full advantage. Holder there now in second place. Zagar didn't get there. He's desperately running for the dirt, but the dirt's a bit further out. Ordinarily, it's a bit wider than that. He can't quite use it. The ideal start for the home team. They'll be chuffed and big. Zagar's lost momentum. It's on now for a 5-1 for the home team.
Davey Watt had a fantastic semi-final for Poole, and here he is, sometimes riding at number 2. He can be a real trump card. It's a perfect start for the Pirates. The main stand crowd are on their feet. Davey Watt and Chris Holder, class duo there. They were brilliant, and Matti Zagar, well, he hits the floor with his right foot in frustration.
Yeah.
Disappointed with that. But don't write Bellevue off. We saw what happened on Monday. There's still a long way to go. And a fantastic start for the Poole Pirates.
The ideal start. They would have felt that they'd let it slip there on Monday night. They were 13 points up after 6 heats. It ended up all square after 15. But what a way to respond in the opening race. Very determined ride from both of the Australians. Watt was superb away from the inside. Holder riding strongly in second.
What a rider to have at number 2 in your
Exactly.
side, Davey Watt. He could be a number 1 in other teams, couldn't he? It's Watt the winner. Chris Holder was second. Matti Zagar was third. Max Frick at the back. It was always going to be tricky from gates 2 and 4 for Bellevue, I think. So it proved. The Pirates made a perfect start.
Watt on the inside uses the inside gate. It was tight between him and Frick when they got there. He had to squeeze and push him a little bit wide. Holder on the outside, coming out of gate 3. Zagar's the one that gets penalised there. Couldn't make it from the outside. It is difficult coming from the outside gate here at Poole. It's a long way. Doesn't get the jump he required. Watt does on the inside. They carve up Frick. Frick gets relegated to the back. But it's the 2 Pirates men out in front showing great determination and speed. Watt, super style from him. really did fire out of the inside gate and showed plenty of speed. The ideal start for the home team.
Yeah, brilliant from the Pirates there early on, and let's get some reaction from Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, down here with race winner Davey Watt. Davey, it filters through the team when the first pairing go out and get a positive result, so confidence builder.
Yeah, job done for Heat 1 anyway. We just got 14 more of them to do. So, look, me and Chris have done that heaps this year. You know, we've gone out and won the first race 5-1, and like you say, it goes through the team. You know, it builds confidence, sort of calms everyone down a little bit as well. Big night tonight, isn't it?
It is a big night, and Max Frick gave you a bit of a scare there because he looked like he was going to get over you, and once you get clamped down here around the first turn, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, it is, you know, and yeah, he made a good start. I didn't make a real good one, and I'll change something hopefully for the next one and try and fix that. But yeah, sort of had to give him a bit of a friendly nudge in the first one in the corner there, but yeah, sorted it out, and then we got the 5-1. So Chris sort of had to cut back and sit in behind me. I was trying to get him to come around, but it's a little bit early for that.
Okay, thanks, David.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect start. Dave, you want a fine rider to have now. In heat number 2 on Monday, Bellevue threw it away.
Yeah.
They conceded a 5-0 whitewash. They have to bounce back here tonight, which they couldn't do on Monday, Gil.
Well, on Monday, the reserves of Pirates got 18 points, the Aces got 3, and that pretty much tells you the story. Worrell there on the inside's got to come good this evening.
He's off the inside gate in white. Paul Stark, who had one of his best nights of the year and best nights of his career on Monday, goes off gate 2 in red. Stefan Nielsen goes off gate number 3 in yellow and black for Bellevue. And Kyle Newman, one of the real big hitters at reserve, he goes off the outside in blue. These reserve riders who are part of a draft system in British Speedway. Worrell's been one of the potent scorers. Kyle Newman has, Jason Garrity and James Sargent at Coventry as well.
Yeah, they have, and these two boys going head-to-head off gates 1 and 4 respectively. It's a good match-up, and Worrell, I'm sure, will be very keen to make up for his disappointing display on Monday night. He's better than that. He was instrumental in the Bellevue Aces making the playoffs, so he was a hero that night. He can make himself a hero this evening. We're looking at Kyle Newman now on the outside. And it's good to see that Carl's got some goggles on this time, because on Heat 12 on Monday he didn't, and there's a certain amount of controversy that's been subsequently spoken about and written about. Here we go, Heat number 2.
Big race for Bellevue. Can they bounce back here? The tapes have gone up first time. Worrell's in the front. Newman now is going to try and go around the outside. Can Kyle Newman get there? This is much more like it from Stevie Worrell. Second place is Kyle Newman. Third is Paul Stark, but Stefan Nielsen is trailing in the back right now. Oh, what a move that was from Paul Stark, and Kyle Newman is coming through as well. It's all going wrong for Stevie Worrell. He's been beaten up by the Poole riders.
Paul Stark really is in a rich vein of form, rode brilliantly on Monday. What a bird's lap that was for the Pirates. Worrell had made the start from the inside. Looked like he had it under control, but Stark came charging up the inside. Then Kyle Newman was able to bounce, he gets through. Another 5-1 on the cards for the home team. Desperate for the Aces in the opening 2 heats, but the Pirates mean business.
Well, Mark Lemon and the Bellevue management will be bitterly disappointed with this. Steve Worrell made the start, made the gate, and you would expect him to go on and dominate the race. It hasn't happened. Paul Stark continues to be a hero of this grand final. Stark from Newman, 5-1, 10-2. Doesn't get much better than that for the Poole Pirates.
Well, it can't get better than that from 2 heats. Certainly with all 4 competitors out there, that's brilliant start for the home team. The Aces are put on the back foot right from the get-go. What a ride from Paul Stark. Rode superbly on Monday evening, getting a huge score there. Comes up with a dynamite ride here in heat number 2. Kyle Newman then was able to pounce and come through. The home fans absolutely delighted. They would have been feeling nervous going into this evening's meeting. 46 points all. What a start for the home team.
Well, any nerves have been calmed for Poole, Stark and Newman over Stevie Worrell, who, as we say, made the start but couldn't see it through. And it's Poole Pirates 10, Bellevue Aces 2, and we have had 2 of the 15 heats. Pressure on Bellevue already.
Worrell makes a super start, does the hard bit, gets to the front. Certainly Newman's pushing hard, but the dirt's a little bit wider than it ordinarily is, and it isn't really working. They can't use it at this stage. Worrell down the back straight, goes into the bottom corner, he's out in front, drifts out wide, then pulls a locker, and Stark comes steaming up the inside. Super ride from him, and then Kyle Newman follows him through. And from that moment on, the 2 boys from the home team they dominate proceedings. Just seeing the mistake there. Newman's a touch fortunate there. Could have easily run heavily into the back of Worrell, but Poole start in the right place at the right time. Super ride from him.
Brilliant ride from Paul Stark then as he pounced there on Stevie Worrell. And let's get some reaction from Chris.
Yeah, down here with Poole. Poole, a fantastic start for the Poole Pirates. 10-2 up and a great first lap.
Yeah, you know, dream start for us really, but start wasn't that good then, lifted too much and had to just stay around the curb and try and get some extra drive to get past either.
Simon was taking a look at the track at the top of the show and he said that perhaps the start was ripped up a little bit shorter than normal. So does that create any problems?
You know you're going to lift and then halfway there you've got to try and just get back on it and get ready for it to drop. So a little bit slicker than normal, but perfect start for all of us.
Great start, well done. So conditions, not an issue. The start, as Paul said, a little bit grippy. What do you got down there for us, Simon?
Yeah, it's interesting that Paul just mentioned that the track was a little bit slicker than usual. You would have thought that might have fallen into Bellevue's favour as they got better as the track got slicker at Bellevue on Monday, but so far 2-5-1s for the Poole team. We can't get any better than that.
Terrific start from the home side, and the Aces would have been so desperate to try and get off to a super start, but the Aces did supremely well with turning it around on Monday night. You've got to believe, or certainly they are going to have to believe they can do it here this evening.
Well, Josh Grosjeanic knows this track well. He won the league with Poole last year, and this fella, Craig Cook, has to do what he did on Monday.
Well,
no pressure, Cookie. He got, what did he get, 12 from 5 rides?
And also yesterday got a 15-point maximum at Somerset and smashed the track record. So he is in a rich vein of form. He's only got one day off this week. He's riding every day. But when you're riding like Craig is, it's great fun and you want to ride every day. Pressure on him though. He's got to come up with the sort of performance we saw on Monday.
David Gordon, Chris Morton, Mark Lemon, they're all there down in the pits area. The Bellevue management team who are watching on. It's a long old trip down from Poole. In fact, there's plenty of Bellevue fans from Manchester to Poole that have made the trip down today. Huge credit to them, and they're making plenty of noise as well. Not so much noise right now, it has to be said. Janowski off the inside, Craig Cook gate 2 in yellow and black. Gate 3 in red, Dakota North, and Josh Grosjeanic going off the outside. Bellevue have to land a blow somehow here.
They do indeed. They've got gates 2 and 4, which is not ideal, but as we've said already, Cook is in fine form. Grosjeanic knows the place like the back of his hand because he won the league title with the Pirates last year, and you know, he's got to believe that he can get amongst the points, but not easy going from the outside gate. And that's made even harder by the fact there isn't quite as much grip on the track this evening up against the fence as there is ordinarily. So Janowski on the inside, he's the big danger man for the Aces.
Here we go, heat number 3. Now it's a good start from the inside gate from Janowski and North there as well. This is going horribly, horribly, horribly wrong for Bellevue. Dakota North in red, Matt Janowski is in blue, Craig Cook in yellow and black is chasing hard here. He's going to have a real go down this home straight. There's a bit of team riding going on between Janowski and North. Cook won't give up, you can be sure. Giving it absolutely everything, Grosjeanic at the back.
Yeah, Dakota North there, he's on the outside, he's squeezing up Janowski and it's awfully close. Janowski's looking over his right shoulder. Dakota North winding it on. Cook coming on strong, right round the airfield. What an effort from him, he really is pushing hard in third place. Certainly Dakota North can ill afford to slow up at all. 1 lap to go, super speedway.
Cook giving it absolutely everything, is the gap there? Team riding personified here by the Poole Pirates. Dakota North in red, Matt Janowski in blue. Down to the line we go!
What a ride from Craig Cook! Gets the better of Janowski coming off the last corner. Dakota North hanging on. Got a feel for Janowski there. Was protecting the young Australian rider. But Craig Cook, what a move off that last corner. He really is flying right now. And that was a sensational ride from him.
Here we go, to the line. Look at Craig Cook in yellow and black. Gets there ahead of Matej Janowski. Is that the kind of ride that can inspire Bellevue? It was a nailed-on 5-1. As it is, it's a 4-2 in favour of the Aces. A brilliant in favour of the Pirates. An absolutely fantastic ride from Craig Cook. Dakota North the winner. Second place was Craig Cook. Third was Matej Janowski. It's a 4-2 in favour of the Pirates, who lead by 10 now. It's 14 points to 4 in favour of the home side.
Rashonik on the outside, he can't land a blow. He has struggled here, couldn't get off the outside. Janowski makes a super start from the inside. Dakota North joins in there on gate 3, and down they go. Janowski's having to look after the young Australian here, and will feel very frustrated because he really did everything he possibly could by trying to team ride Dakota North home. Cook, you've got to give him huge praise here. He is so brave, he's got so much speed. You can see the two boys from the home team out in front. Dakota North possibly not quite wide enough. That allows a little bit of racing room for Craig Cook to keep generating more and more speed. As they come to the conclusion of the race, coming off the dirt, coming towards the checkered flag, Janowski's just a little bit vulnerable, and Cook still second place off of him. An inspiring ride there from the British boy. Cook was super, and the aces must take heart from that sort of performance.
And what a great shot there of Dakota North and Craig Cook congratulating each other. Now let's get some reaction from Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, Craig, 8 points down before that heat, and we could see the determination you're riding. You did not want to go further behind, did you?
Absolutely not, mate. We took gates 2 and 4, I think, and you know, that hasn't worked out for us, but yeah, we just need to dig deep. The track's in really good condition. We can race it really hard. You can ride anywhere, like I've just shown there, so hopefully I can pass on a little bit to the boys. I made a few changes after watching the first 2 races, so hopefully I can give a little knowledge to the boys and they can set their bikes up a little bit better.
The grip does look very wide already. I mean, we're quite early on, 3 heats, and you're riding right out by the fence.
I didn't have anywhere else. They were covering the rest of the track, so it was either go big or go home.
Great stuff. Well done, Craig. Cheers, mate.
Well, is that the kind of ride that can inspire the Bellevue riders, Kelvin?
It's got to, Nigel. That was a terrific ride from him to pass Janowski, a Grand Prix rider. That was a fabulous effort, and he showed great resolve. He never threw the towel in, and he had plenty of pace. He had got a lot of speed on Monday, must have had heaps of speed yesterday at Somerset. And you've got to believe that Scotty Nicholls, the captain, has got to sort of try. They need a heat win, don't they? They need just to settle the nerves down.
Yeah, he needs to do the business here. Scott Nicholls is the captain, and he needs to deliver for his team here. By the way, although the gap is 10 points, you cannot use a tactical ride until heat 5. Tactical rides can be used between heats 5 and 11 inclusive. We're too early for that, although the gap is 10, and when you are 10 down, you can nominate the rider for double points, but it's too early for Bellevue to do that. Here we go, they're with 13 down after 6 heats on their own track on Monday. They pulled it back to level, now they're 10 down after 3. Can they get a race advantage here? Nielsen off the inside, yellow and black. Gate 2 in blue is Kyle Newman for Poole. Gate 3 in white, Scott Nicholls, pressure on him. And Kasper Gomolski off the outside in red for Poole.
Yeah, Gomolski was in the wars, wasn't he, on Monday? And there was some doubt whether he would be fit to ride tonight, but he declared himself fit earlier today. And Neil Middleditch, the team manager of the Pirates, will be keeping his fingers crossed that the young Polish boy is right up for the job. Gate 4, rather, has proved to be difficult so far this evening. Scotty Nicholls on gate 3, hugely important ride for him. He comes out of gate 3, needs to win the race to settle the nerves for the aces.
Yep, really got stuck in on Monday, Scott Nicholls. Gomolski will be a different rider than the one we saw on Monday, you can be sure of that. It's a good start from Nicholls, he's there, and so is Nielsen as well. It's a 5-1 to Bellevue at the moment, but here come the Pirates. Now Nicholls is in white, Stefan Nielsen in yellow and black. Can he hold it here with Newman putting pressure on for Poole? Oh, Newman clashes into the back of Stefan Nielsen. Somehow they stay on the bike. This would be just what the doctor ordered for Bellevue. Nicholls from Nielsen, and third in blue is Kyle Newman.
Brilliant stuff though from Nicholls out of gate 3. Certainly Stefan Nielsen is riding a race of his lifetime in second place. Gomolski's now got himself through in the third place. Can he land a blow? Nicholls off the fence, riding really hard. Possibly needs to look after his younger teammate in second place, but Nicholls with a lap to go has got the win. Stefan Nielsen is riding brilliantly in second place.
This is fantastic from Stefan Nielsen. It looks like he's going to do enough. Yep. An unexpected result for Bellevue. Yet another comeback here. Super Scotty Nicholls. Stefan Nielsen is there as well. Kasper Gomolski third. This Bellevue side will just refuse to lie down. They They are inspired. Scott Nicholls and Stefan Nielsen. Where on earth did Stefan Nielsen find that from?
Well, he must have been inspired by Craig Cook in the previous ride, Nigel, because that was an excellent ride from him. He had all sorts of problems on Monday, but he's put that to bed. The Bellevue fans just to the right of the studio, they've certainly woken up. They're much happier about things right now. Nicholls and Nielsen doing the business for the Aces.
Yeah, Stefan Nielsen only managed 1 point on Monday night. Here he is with 2 plus a bonus there. And Scotty Nicholls with a fantastic ride. Super race win for him. Stefan Nielsen second, Kasper Gomolski third. 5-1-2 Bellevue. And it's Bellevue now just 6 behind the Pirates.
The gates 1 and 3 proving to be the advantage here. Nielsen makes a super start off the inside and Nicholls roars down the outside and fires himself to the front. Gomolski off gate 4. Gate 4 has definitely been a major challenge in the opening few heats. The young Polish boy can't land a blow, only works really hard just to get it through into third place. But Nielsen under all sorts of pressure, certainly for 2-3 laps, rides brilliantly here. Look at this, clashing early on with Carl Newman trying to get up the inside, and the young Englishman really holding his ground. Nicholls and Nielsen riding strongly, picking up a very useful 5-1.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Stefan Nielsen and Scott Nicholls. Reaction comes from Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, the Aces need an inspirational skipper's ride, and they got one. But what about Stefan Nielsen following you home? That's great.
Fantastic. I didn't think it was Stefan, to be honest. I kind of just thought, right, we need to pick up some wins to try and get back in it. So awesome by Stefan. You know, he didn't have a good night Monday, but not good first race. So to get a paid win there was fantastic for him.
You answered my question, because I was going to say, was it your own tactics to just leave a gap and get out there and win the race, but you didn't know he was there?
No, I saw him on the first turn, and then to be honest, went in the bottom bend, and I just thought the track's a bit tricky first race. It's hard to know what the track's doing, so to try and slow the race up in team rides early, hard as in your first race. So no, I just got on with my job, and Stefan done a fantastic one. So it's getting ourselves back in it, another couple of races, and we can be in front.
The reserves obviously let you down a little bit at home, but that's just what Stefan needed, a little bit of confidence, belief that he can do it here at Poole against good opposition.
Definitely, and if we can get Stevie doing the same. It's such a shame because they've both been riding so well for us, and it's got to this vital stage of season and it's just not quite happening. But that hopefully will settle Stefan down, hopefully that can inspire Stevie, and we can get ourselves back in the game.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Wow, where did that come from? From Stefan Nielsen, a poor night on Monday, found life tough, but inspired, and it just shows you, in the grand final of Elite League Speedway, you never know what's around the corner.
You don't, and Craig Cook rode brilliantly to get that second place in the previous race. Nicholls out in front, honestly says they didn't realise it was his teammate, so even more credit you have to give Stefan Nielsen, because he held his own there under immense pressure from the Pirates. Exactly what we needed, or certainly what the Aces needed, and all of a sudden they closed that gap.
And from a neutral point of view, it's what we needed as well. It really has brought this grand final to life indeed. Fantastic. We'll be back with heat number 5 with the Poole Pirates 6 points up, but the home crowd know that they've still got a job to do here, the home side. Heat 5 on the way next. Quite a night so far here. 4 heats gone in the Elite League Speedway Grand Final. It looked to be going all Poole's way early on with a couple of 5-1s. The reserves doing the business after Stevie Worrell was passed by the Poole duo in fine style. But then a slight recovery from Bellevue. Craig Cook split the Poole duo of Janowski and North in a thrilling race, heat number 3. And then heat number 4, a big 5-1, Scott Nicholls and Stefan Nielsen with the first race advantage of the night for the men from Manchester. 4 heats gone in the Elite League Grand Final then here at Wimborne Road. It's Poole Pirates 15, Bellevue Aces 9. Everything we hoped for early on, Kelvin?
Yeah, we absolutely. I think that the Aces would have liked to have gone off to a slightly better start in heat number 1 and 2, but the way they turned that around in heat 4 was a show of a team of great character, inspired by the ride by Cook in heat 3. So they'll be hoping that they can keep that momentum going. Pirates, of course, you can never rule them out because they're made of stern stuff themselves, and Davey Watt was an impressive winner first time out.
Max Frick off the inside in white. Davey Watt goes off gate 2 in red for Poole. Gate 3, Stevie Worrell in yellow and black for Bellevue. And off the outside is Paul Stark for the Poole Pirates. Can Bellevue make gates 1 and 3 count? We know what a talent Max Frick is. Mark Lemon, the Bellevue team manager in his first year with the club, has done a fine job with them. Neil Middleditch just behind him, the ultra-successful Poole Pirates manager who is part of the furniture around here at Wimborne Road as a former rider, and his dad rode for the club as well, of course.
Yeah, huge history with the club, Neil Middleditch. Mark Lemon coming into team management this year has done a decent job. And but he's an accomplished man because he rode successfully for a long time, and he is the national manager, of course, for Australia. Can gates 1 and 3 do the business once again?
Tweet us at Sky Speedway. Tell us your thoughts and opinions on tonight's action. Here we go. Into number 5 it is, and it's a great start from the man in the white helmet coming back quick. Yeah, well, we're going to have to do it again. Bellevue are looking good there, but it's going to have to be done all over again. Paul Stark into the fence here. We hope that he's going to be okay, but the referee didn't hesitate there. Mick Bates, red lights on straight away.
Yeah, he's, you know, there's no... You can't criticise the rider there. He got squeezed up and he was trapped under the bike and the air fence, just couldn't get himself out. So the right decision in that regard. I get the feeling it'll be all 4 back.
We'll see it again.
He's okay, we'll see it again, and then we'll be able to be a little clearer. Davey Watt missed the start there, in actual fact, with Frick making a brilliant one. Just gets clipped there, trying to come across. He's unsettled. It'll be all 4 back.
It's all 4 back all day long, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But once again, we're seeing that gates 1 and 3 are an advantage. Davey Watt did miss it, and he'll be pleased that he's got a second chance. But the Aces will be a little frustrated because looking like they were going to get to the front as they complete that first corner.
Well, a race advantage for Bellevue, I should say, in this race, Kelvin. If they do come back, it is all 4 back, we can confirm that, so all 4 riders back for the restart. Yeah. If Bellevue get a race advantage here, surely Poole will really start to feel the tension.
Yeah, they will, because, you know, feel a little bit like deja vu, because what happened on Monday, they battled so very well to get back into it and get a draw, but this is earlier. They started terrifically, the home team, including that man, of course, Stark, who rode well in Heat 2 to win it. But there's no question that it's more challenging coming from the outside, and Stark had a reminder of that as he got to the first corner, just got clipped on the inside and down he went. All 4 back, which is good news because we like to see 4 riders in a race. But with gates 1 and 3, the Aces must feel confident that they can get a heat advantage out of it.
Yeah, well, Davey Watt knows he's got a second opportunity. Mark Lemon will talk to the referee. We are told he is in communication with Mick Bates, but that's got to be a fair decision. All 4
he's
back
grasping
there,
at straws there.
Yeah.
I can't see any way that Mick Bates will change his mind, and when you see the replay, Paul Stark does have a nudge and he goes down. So just maybe pushing his luck a little bit there, Mark. Just maybe making a point about something else. We just don't know. But there's no question that Davey Watt, when we're seeing it now, Watt's missed the start. Paul Stark's coming across. Just that it's the dirt deflector that touches his leg and he goes down. It isn't very much in truth, but it's enough to unsettle you. You can't get your left foot out, and so therefore you lose balance. And that's the problem. He's coming across. Stevie Worrell there does nothing wrong. The dirt deflector catches his leg, and unfortunately for Paul Stark, he's off balance and down he goes. 9 times out of 10, up and down the country, that particular scenario is all 4 riders back. Let's get an update from Chris Louis now. Chris.
Yeah, just down here with Mark. Mark, you've just been talking to the referee, presumably about that crash. What did he say?
Yeah, it wasn't about dinner or anything like that. No, just a little consistency would be nice. You know, Monday night we had Craig Cook get excluded in the first turn. No contact. There was no contact there, and it's all 4 back. You know, just a little bit of consistency would be nice.
So you're just basically saying no reason for him to go down and maybe foul play?
Oh, look, hey, you know, obviously he's bailed out because you're going, you know, you're attacking that first turn at, you know, a million miles an hour, and like, you know, when you run out of room, when, you know, your tangent, your angles are all wrong, you know, you've got to do something. But, you know, he made that choice to lay down. He wasn't knocked down.
What is it with Bellevue right now in these slow starts? Because you must have been thinking, here we go again. I mean, you know, the guys are coming back now, but tough start.
We just like to make it interesting.
Well, you're certainly doing that. Are you going to take it right to the wire?
Of course we are.
Great stuff. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, good stuff. Interesting. It's a different referee tonight. It was Graham Flint on Monday.
Yeah.
It's Mick Bates tonight, who is actually a former rider. It's quite a while ago now that Mick was a rider, but is there a case then that Mark Lemon could make that for consistency you should have the same referee over 2 grand final legs?
Possibly. It's a fair point, but I disagree with him in the fact that there was no contact. There was, and the dirt deflectors are often the cause of the problem, and it was there with Stevie Worrell and Paul Stark. So, yeah, just maybe chancing his arm a little bit.
Max Frick off the inside, Davey Watt off 2, Stevie Worrell gate 3, Paul Stark off the outside. They're up at tapes again then for the restart of heat number 5. We'll remind you, Poole Pirates chasing the lead of hat-trick, 3 on the trot. And the last team to do that in British Speedway, Bellevue Aces. How about that?
Yeah.
So going for it tonight, the Poole Pirates on this very special night of Speedway.
Yeah, terrific night of Speedway, and they know what it's all about, the Poole Pirates. They've been immensely impressive and successful in the last 10 years. Since the playoffs have been launched really in 2002, they really have enjoyed a tremendous run of form, and that's all credit really down to their management. Matt Ford has just kept building teams that seem to have that winning knack.
He was tense and nervous earlier, wasn't he, Matt Ford?
Oh yeah, and I think he will be now, because he knows that the Bellevue Aces are made of stern stuff. David Watt missed the start first time, he'll be hoping for better this time.
Here we go then, heat number 5 it is. Who's going to hit that first turn? Max Frick is there. Watt will try the inside. Stevie Worrell has gone high and wide early on. Now can Worrell hang on here? Watt has missed him. And now Davey Watt will hit the inside line as Worrell goes wide. Bellevue on a 5-1 as it stands right now, which will bring this grand final back to a 2-point gap. It's Max Frick in white, Steve Worrell in yellow and black. Davey Watt in red is trying absolutely everything for Poole.
Gates 1 and 3 working well, there's no question. Steve Worrell moving out wide, Frick's on the inside. Here comes Davey Watt, had his nose chopped off. Now he moves to the outside, Warren is reading in. Watt's now moving back to the middle and the inside of the track. Stevie Worrell riding inside, outside. Watt doesn't quite know where to go. Frick's out in front, the Aces are fighting for their lives.
1 lap to go, Bellevue on a 5-1 again. Davey Watt chasing after the Bellevue reserve, Stevie Worrell. Max Frick looking magnificent. Here comes Watt round the outside. Davey Watt for Poole. To the line, he splits them.
Brilliant Speedway once again. Frick out in front, riding brilliantly. Stevie Worrell making Davey Watt work overtime there. Certainly he tried the inside, the outside. Worrell varied his racing line, really did keep Davey Watt guessing for all 4 laps until the last corner. Rode the inside line, allowed Watt to then roar around in the dirt and snatch second place away, but it was a heat advantage. It closes the gap just to 4 points. Super Speedway once again. Frick out in front, rides brilliantly, wins comfortably, and Davey Watt coming off the last corner finally gets the better of Stevie Worrell after a race-long battle that really kept you on the edge of your seat.
Bellevue's reserves have already scored more than they did in the whole meeting on Monday night, and Max Frick is just 1 point short of the point scoring he achieved on Monday night. It's game on after a third of the way through this grand final second leg. It's on a knife edge. Max Frick, Davey Watt, Stevie Worrell, spectacular racing. Poole 17, Bellevue 13.
Once again the inside gate works a treat. Max Frick gets there, clamps it down on the inside. He's aware that Steve Worrell is on the outside. Davey Watt desperately trying to get up the inside at the early part of the race. Frick's got speed. Worrell was trying all sorts of manoeuvres to try and stop the run of Davey Watt in 3rd place, keep him guessing, not really sure where he's going to go. Worrell right round the outside, just gets himself into 2nd place. Stevie Worrell just hanging on in 2nd place. It really was a super race for these for 2nd place, but as the race comes to its conclusion, Worrell just makes a conservative move to ride the inside, and Davey Watt trusts the bike and gets the slingshot off the last corner.
Good speedway here tonight, 2 fully committed teams. Let's now hear from Max Frick. He is with Chris Louis.
Yes, thanks, Nigel. Max, great ride, great race win, but this job would be so much easier if you guys didn't give Poole a 10-point lead after 3 heats.
Yeah, obviously definitely didn't start the way we wanted it to, so got a few points to pull back now, and hopefully this is the start of it. So we've got a big job ahead of us, but I know it's doable, but it's definitely not going to be easy.
Everybody's saying that track conditions are pretty good, pretty even for both teams, but the Pirates, as you'd expect, just seem to have the edge with the setup, and Stevie Worrell there in particular was having to pull all sorts of lines to try and keep David Watt behind him.
Yeah, obviously we all started. I know everyone in the team's had a few bike changes before their second heat, so hopefully that helps. I know it's Poole obviously dialed in here. They're always solid at home, so as long as we can pull a few points back now and then see where we end up in the end.
Thanks, Max.
Yeah, we're very fortunate with the weather here today, it has to be said. The glorious conditions that we've had. We've struggled in the semi-finals with the weather. We saw one that was delayed at Coventry by Monday to Friday, but thankfully this grand final, twice in the space of 3 days, has gone ahead in, well, perfect daytime conditions, and the Monday and Wednesday back-to-back for the grand final seems to work pretty well, Kelv.
Yeah, they do it on the continent, don't they? Yeah. Particularly in Sweden, they do it back-to-back nights, and there's no question that keeps the attention on it, the spotlight on the two meetings. But I got to say here, heat number 6, on paper, advantage the Aces.
But they've got 2 and 4, so what can Dak North do for Poole off gate 1? Gate 2, Matty Zagar for Bellevue. Gate 3, blue, Kasper Gamolski for Poole, and Craig Cook going off the outside in yellow and black for Bellevue, and Cook was inspired in his first ride.
He was, the way he rode there to get the better of Janowski, he really was there or thereabouts throughout the 4 laps. Got to feel a little for Janowski because he'd ridden so well to look after his teammate, but just had that second place stolen away from him coming out of the last corner. It is often the case. It can be an awkward scenario you find yourself in. Rode supremely well on Monday, of course, for the Aces, where he only dropped points in one race where he came off in the first corner. Apart from that, he was unbeaten on the night, which is a great effort from him.
Got a long journey as well. He's up at Redcar tomorrow at the South East Motorsport Park for the Premier League 14 tournament finals tomorrow night at Redcar Speedway. If you're in the area, Teesside area, 4 teams doing battle for a national title, and there's the Elite League title on the line here tonight. The Dakota North's made a good one off gate number 1. Zagar's gone wide, taking his own man wide there as well, but here they come down the back straight. Oh! Craig Cook is like a rocket! How on earth did he manage that down the back straight? And now Zagar is going to take up the challenge of Dakota North. Dakota North holds second place, Zagar is third, and Kasper Gamolski having a real go. Zagar now trying the inside run here, but Craig Cook is inspired, Kelvin.
Absolutely fabulous first corner, and down the back straight, Craig Cook, brave as a lion, fired himself to the front. Dakota North hanging on in second, Zagar pushing on in third. Gamolski's out the back, but Cook is in the form of his life. He's firing away out in front, flying. Dakota North hanging on in second place, and the Aces are going to be right back in it.
They're going to climb back to just a 2-point deficit, and Craig Cook is absolutely flying here. Craig Cook for the Bellevue Aces. There's just 2 points in it now after 6 heats of this grand final. Cook, North, Zagar, and the man at the back was Kasper Gamolski. But my goodness, wow. Craig Cook now with a fantastic win under his belt, and he deserves that. How on earth he got down that back straight? I can only imagine he must have closed his eyes and hoped for the best.
I'm sure he did, Nige, because there was the room was running out very quickly. It was getting closed because Dakota North was moving off the inside and trying to close the door as they go down the back straight. The Bellevue fans to the right of the studio, delighted with that. Cook has been the catalyst for this fight back. That ride where he got the better of Janowski and had a second place, first time out for him, comes up with a brilliant ride there. That really was an inspiring ride. His dad there alongside him working overtime this week because they're racing near enough every day. Cook was supreme there.
Yeah, what a ride from Craig Cook. Dakota North second, Matty Zagar was third, and there's concern amongst the Poole camp now for sure, because that 10-point lead has been eaten away. Poole 19, Bellevue 17 with the Elite League title on the line.
Dakota North on the inside, Zagar there, and here comes Cook. Roars down the back straight, just gets round the outside of Dakota North. There wasn't a lot of racing room there at all. Again, Cook coming from the outside. Got to believe it's the first time anybody's won from the gate 4, but it's nothing to do with the gate. It's to do with the bravery and the commitment from the rider. Off the dirt line, down the back straight, gets himself to the front. He's hungry for victory here this evening. Fires away out in front, wins comfortably. Zagar worked overtime in third place, trying to get the better of Dakota North, couldn't quite get there. But that's how much it meant for Craig Cook. What a ride.
Kasper Gomolski not as happy as Craig Cook. It's not going his way tonight. I wonder how Neil Middleditch, the Poole boss, is feeling right now. He's with Chris.
Yeah, let's find out. Neil, with 3 heats gone, 10-point lead. You could have home leg. You could have been feeling quite comfortable. But these aces, they've got riders like Scott Nicholls, Craig Cook. They can inspire their team.
Absolutely, no, certainly wasn't feeling comfortable after that. I mean, it's nice to get a little jump start like that. But as you say, they've got a great team, and yeah, they're coming back at us hard.
They came back at you in the first leg, but on their own territory. It's going to be harder for them here, but you've got to inspire these guys. You've got to get them going.
Yeah, got to try and get they're a bit sharp. Got to get my boys sharper at the gate. I mean, it's a bit slick tonight. I mean, it's a good racetrack, but it's a long way to go yet, but it's getting close.
And you guys taken 1 and 3 in the first race. You got a run of 2 and 4 towards the end of the meeting. I mean, is that an advantage here normally at Poole?
No, I mean, we normally take 1 and 3, but my thing is just sort of let's get the points in the bag, and then, but it's a grand final, isn't it? Anything can happen.
Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah, here we go, heat number 7. It really is a grand final.
Well, it's living up to the title,
yes,
isn't it? Every bit of it. What a night we've had so far. It looked like we were going to have it the same as Monday night, with the Pirates getting off to such an impressive start, but the Aces are battling, they're fighting for their lives, and they're back in it.
5-1 and 2-4-2s Bellevue have struck. We're up to heat number 7 now, and the Pirates duo need to make gates 1 and 3 count here. Chris Holder off the inside in red, Josh Grzonik gate 2 in white for Bellevue, Maciej Janowski gate 3 in blue, and Scott Nicholls needs one of his inspired rides off the outside. Whilst we're talking about top stars here tonight in the grand final, big night here next Wednesday as well. There's a benefit meeting for Darcy Ward, who is held in such great affection by the Poole fans, of course, and Greg Hancock is coming across for that meeting, a rare UK appearance for Greg Hancock next Wednesday here at Poole for Darcy Ward.
Absolutely, looking forward to that. Gate 4, I would suggest, has been boosted by the incredible performance from Craig Cook. Has not been an easy place to win races from, but nonetheless, gates 1 and 3 are a slight advantage at this stage of the night. The Poole Pirates with their big guns out here, 2 Grand Prix stars coming off the favoured gates. Neil Middleditch will want to see his men perform now. The Aces are a credit to their team. The riders are doing a great job. Pirates under pressure after an immaculate start from them, from these 2 boys. In actual fact, excuse me, Janowski wasn't in that race, but he is now.
Can they make it count here? Josh Grzonik's made a beauty from gate number 2. Now what can Janowski do around the outside? Here comes Nicholls into 3rd. Wow, they're on a 4-2 and this would level it. But here comes Janowski now in blue. Josh Grzonik is going wide, and Grzonik just about hangs on under severe pressure here. He's gone to the fence. He's been taken to the fence, and that was a fantastic ride from Maciej Janowski.
Janowski having to dig really deep to get the better of Josh Grzonik. Now we're seeing some super action once again. Holder's out the back, Nicholls in 3rd, but certainly Maciej Janowski there really had to come up with something very special indeed to get the better of the Australian. It's a 3-all. They're having to work awfully hard now, the home team, because the Aces, they really are full of confidence and pushing on.
The Aces are inspired. Bellevue will be happy with this result, I'm sure, because with 2 Grand Prix stars in Janowski and Holder off gates 1 and 3, you would have expected a race advantage. Maciej Janowski in the blue helmet colour worked hard for that. Took Grzonik wide with a fine move, a clean move, perfectly good racing. Got the better of Josh Grzonik and got the race win under his belt. But Chris Holder, the number 1 for Poole, trailed in at the back. Is this going the distance?
Looking like it, looking very much like it. Grzonik was riding beautifully out in front, and Janowski had to dig very deep to get the better of him. Tough speedway.
Yep, Janowski takes the victory with Josh Grzonik 2nd, Scott Nicholls was 3rd, Holder at the back. It's a 3-all after Janowski's win, and it's Poole Pirates 22, Bellevue Aces 20, and once again, some smashing speedway here,
What a night we're enjoying here. Grzonik out of gate 2 makes a smashing start. Nicholls comes charging through to get the better of Chris Holder, who can't land a blow. Janowski then really has to push on hard in 2nd place, pushing his ex-teammate really hard out in front. Grzonik up into the dirt. Here comes the Polish boy up the inside as they start the 2nd lap. On the inside, pushes him really wide, hits the dirt, and finally gets himself to the front. Strong ride from the pole. The captain of the Pirates needed it. They really did need it, because there's no doubt that the inspiration from the Aces is really putting them under an awful lot of pressure. Janowski certainly responding brilliantly.
Well, Josh Krzyzonic really got stuck in there, and he is with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, Messick, you needed that race win, that pass on Josh Krzyzonic, because the Bellevue Aces are pushing you all the way.
Yeah, that's true. This is the final, so it's very tough, and it's maybe a little bit more slick than normal, but we must find some better setup, because we need some better starts.
Your first race was a little bit unlucky. You were working so hard with Dakota North, but Craig Cook found a way past.
Yeah, Craig found a good line and have good speed on last corner, so he have too much space between me and Doug, so he used this, and every win for us is very important. So if it's 4-2, is also good. So
well done. Thanks, Magic.
Thank you.
Yeah, some good racing here tonight. Just 2 points now, and we remind you it has to be decided tonight. There is no replay. The league title has to be decided tonight, even if it means golden heats after the 15 that we've got tonight. Again, what a comeback from Bellevue.
Yeah, it's super stuff. We've never had golden heats before, so will we see them this evening? But yeah, fabulous performance from them, showing great character, because it would have been very easy just to sort of throw the towel in, but the catalyst for it was Craig Cook when he got the better of Janowski and he snatched that second place away. They backed it up with a 5-1, and they're right back in this.
Craig Cook inspired the Bellevue fans. They believe. Do the riders believe? Do the management believe? Poole Pirates have the advantage, but only just. More Grand Final Elite League Speedway from Wimborne Road in Poole is coming up with heat number 8 when we come back. What a night of Elite League Speedway. The grand final really is serving up a treat. Paul Stark, the only faller of the night so far. All 4 riders were back for that. Early on, if you have just joined us, Paul romped to helmet colour in heat number 6, and look what it means to him as well. Heat 7, we've just seen a 3-all with Matt Janowski getting the better of Josh Krzyzonic. Some fantastic speedway and a very close, tense scoreline. 8 heats remain to decide the 2015 Elite League champions. Poole Pirates 22, Bellevue Aces have 20. So 68 points to 66 on aggregate. It is beautifully poised. Could we see golden heats for the first time? Is it going to go down to a Heat 15 decider like 2006 at Peterborough and Reading?
Yep.
Could, again, join some fantastic moments in history tonight.
Absolutely. It really is beginning to become a classic, isn't it? It's been a fantastic night of Speedway so far, particularly when you consider how well the home team started. So, all credit to the Aces. They really have got themselves right back in it. Don't rule the Pirates out, of course, because they're made of stern stuff and they know how to win.
Let's bring Simon Stead in on this. Simon, gates 1 and 3 look to be the key. Of course, we saw that moment from Cookie to really inspire Bellevue. Gates 1 and 3 look good. And what about track conditions? What are your thoughts on it right now, Simon?
Yeah, you're right, mate. They do look good. 1 and 3 are certainly the more favourable ones at the moment. I've just been and had a look at them, actually. 1 still looks like it's got a few fresh bits that will propel you off the start a little bit better. The outside gates are going to be hard work. We saw inspirational from Craig Cook really off to make it work round gate 4. Super first corner, ran it right under the fence, right in the dirt line, and made a magic first corner. But it is going to be tough, and looking at the gate positions for the rest of the night, it's going to fall into Bellevue's favour in the latter half, so it'll be really interesting stuff.
It will be interesting, Simon. Certainly it's been an incredible night so far, with the Pirates getting off to such a fast start. how about those aces? They're showing great character, aren't they, to battle their way back into it a little bit like Monday.
Yeah, no doubt that Bellevue management would have been worried for after the initial first couple of heats, but they brought it back. They showed great character in the first leg on Monday to bring it back to a draw. So this is by no means over. It's so tight. This is going to go down to the wire.
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, well, let's hope it does from a neutral point of view. That's what we want to see. Close, tense meeting, and we're getting that tonight.
I can't disagree with Simon there. It's I fancy that the Pirates may win reasonably comfortably tonight, but I say the Aces are doing a fine job.
Kick-up party here off the inside gate in red. Stevie Worrell, gate 2. And yellow and black has ridden hard for his points tonight for Bellevue. Kyle Newman goes off gate 3 in blue for Poole. Max Frick off the outside in white for the Bellevue Aces. Had that fantastic race win last time out. But tell me, Kelvin, the younger riders in this lineup, the less experienced boys like your Newmans and your Worrells and your Fricks, they'll be feeling the big occasion here because this is like a World Cup crowd, a Grand Prix crowd even.
Yeah, they're not so accustomed to riding in front of a big audience and a huge evening like this. There's no question about that. And we saw on Monday how that affected young Stevie Worrell. There's no doubt that he was nervous that night and it affected his performance. Riders like Janowski, Holder, Zagar, of course, they're accustomed to riding in front of big crowds and on big nights. But for these boys, it's a great experience, but they've got to remain composed.
So here we go, heat number 8 on a knife edge, this grand final. Poole 22, Bellevue 20. Bellevue, the last side to complete a hat-trick of league titles. Can Poole do it here? Great start off the inside gate for the Pirates there with Casper Gamolski, and Knife Newman is there as well. Now, what can Bellevue do about this? Can Frick charge through, or will it be Worrell? And now a bit of team riding needed for the Pirates. Gamolski is the man in red. Will he look over his shoulder and look for Kyle Newman? He does do in the home straight. So a bit of team riding now, but watch out for Max Frick, the talented young Australian is going to give it everything here for Bellevue.
Yeah, Gamolski did have a look for his teammate in the first corner, and Kyle Newman's there. Max Frick is a danger in third place. Gamolski's changed his bike night. He made a much better start this time. Frick is there. The Pirates are showing a lot of resolve here, coming under all sorts of pressure in the previous heats with the inspirational Aces pushing them awfully hard. Just 2 points in it coming into this one, but a little bit of a comfort zone just being restored for the Poole Pirates. Gamolski riding well.
Yeah, this is going to ease the from Poole, who have been under the cosh since they went 10 up. Bellevue have just chipped away at that lead, but that is a much-needed maximum for the hosts. Casper Gamolski in red and Kyle Newman in blue. They know the importance of that. A huge 5-1 at the halfway stage. The second leg of the grand final. Gamolski and Newman deliver the goods just at the right time, just when Bellevue were right back in the meeting.
Absolutely, Gamolski makes a superstar from the inside. Very frustrated with his bike as he came off the track in his previous race. All of a sudden, there was a lot of tension in the fans down the home start and finish straight. Just before this race, you could sense it, and all of a sudden, that big 5-1 really just settles the nerves a little bit. It's a tense night, it's still not all over. The Aces, I'm sure, have still got plenty to say, but Gamolski, a great response from him.
There is a brilliant atmosphere here. Casper Gamolski and Kyle Newman, Max Frick and Stevie Worrell. A huge 5-1 in the context of the grand final. Overall, how important will that prove to be? And Poole lead by 6 now.
Gates 1 and 3 providing the starts for the Pirates here, and they take full advantage. Gamolski was sharp away from the inside, looking for his teammate a couple of times. Kyle Newman a little bit vulnerable early on, again from the tapes. Gamolski brilliant, has a look once. He'll have a look again now, coming off the corner. Yeah, he can see Kyle Newman, but he's a little bit far in front. Newman was vulnerable here. If Frick could have just found a little bit of extra speed, he might have been able to get the better of him. The Pirates looking on, Neil Middleditch delighted with that. That's more like it after coming under such intense pressure from the Bellevue Aces. Gamolski made himself a bit of a star there.
He certainly did. Brilliant ride from Casper Gamolski. The change of bike would a treat there. 8 heats gone. 27-21, 73, 67 on aggregate. Now, heat number 9, Stefan Nielsen. Can he make himself a hero again after his huge 5-1 in heat 4 over Gamolski and Newman? Up against Watt and Stark here, and Scotty Nichols, the Bellevue captain, is his partner again in heat 9.
Well, that was a super ride from Nielsen because he didn't actually get any help from his teammate at all. He had to fend for himself, and he did that admirably by hanging on to second place. Nichols was impressive in front. Scotty's been pushing hard, even he got beaten next time out, but he was still really charging hard. Important times now. The Poole Pirates have shown what they're all about. They don't want to give up the league title easily, and they're fighting for their lives. The 5-1 in the previous race was a clear indication of that.
These Bellevue Aces refuse to lie down. They keep hitting back. Can they continue that theme here in Heat 9? Stark off the inside. Nichols, gate 2 in white for Bellevue, has ridden well tonight. Gate 3 in red is Davey Watt for Poole. And Stefan Nielsen goes off the outside in the yellow and black helmet colour. Heat number 9 it is. Can Bellevue peg it back here?
Well, they could. I think they're going to need to be inspirational once again. Gates 1 and 3 appear to be the better of the two starts. Nielsen on the outside has ridden well this evening, struggled on Monday, but has shown much better form and commitment here this evening. You know what Scott Nichols is all about. He has huge experience and has won grand finals in the past, of course, with Coventry. He's won grand finals with them, but he would dearly love to do it with the Bellevue Aces as captain here this evening. David Watt is a danger. Mark Lennon doing a great job for the Aces. Paul Stark, I've got to say, on the inside is riding great in the grand final.
Can Stark make the start from the inside gate? It's a good start here from Scott Nichols in the white helmet colour. He's gone wide. Now Watt tries the inside. Davey Watt really trying hard here, but Scott Nichols, it has to be said, is a determined character tonight. It takes riders who are brave here in the grand final. Scott Nichols, full of guts and determination, has that lead. Davey Watt now second. Third in blue is Paul Stark. Stefan Nielsen can't find a way through. It would stay 6 in favour of Poole if it stays like this.
Well, an inspirational ride here from Scott Nichols. Got away from gate 2. David Watt pushed really hard, but Nichols right off the air fence in the dirt, beginning to pull away out in front. Davey Watt in second place, Paul Stark in third, Stefan Nielsen out the back. But once again, the Ace is very keen to do the business. It's a 3-all, it'll keep the point score level after this race, but Nichols is riding brilliantly in front.
Yeah, this is a brilliant ride from Scott Nichols, really keeping his side in the hunt here. 6 heats to go now. Second place, Davey Watt, third, Paul Stark. Super stuff from Scott Nichols. He really is playing a true captain's role tonight for his side. Has dropped just 1 point to an opposing rider, and that is Scott Nichols. His very, very best. Brilliant ride from him, but he couldn't be backed up by his colleague Stefan Nielsen on that occasion. From that point of view, you would say job done from a Poole perspective. Nichols, Watt, Stark, Nielsen. It now means that Poole hit the 30-point mark and the Bellevue Aces are on 24 with 6 heats remaining now.
Yeah, super ride from Scotty Nichols there. He was tight going into the first corner. He comes off gate 2, Watt's on gate 3. They're level pegging here, but he has to go right to the fence almost to get that grip. Watt then chops to the inside, and for a lap or two it was really close indeed, but Nichols is showing great spirit and character as the captain of the Bellevue Aces. Right off the safety fence, it's tight down the back straight, early doors in the race. Paul Stark is doing a good job back in third. The style of the captain of the Aces proves to be too much for the Poole Pirates, but it's 3-all, so no real damage done there for the Pirates, who lead on 30 points.
Well, he rode a lovely line there, absolutely stunning ride. The Bellevue fans are delighted and they're loving every minute of watching Scott Nichols do the business here. Let's get some reaction from Scotty now. He's with Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, Scott interacting there with the crowd. I don't know if they're your fans or not, but
Trying to make out my hair, no?
Paul coming back in the previous race, so you needed that just to level that race, didn't you? I mean, going out with the reserve. I mean, Stefan had a great ride last time out with you, but struggled in that one.
Yeah, it's time. We know Poole are exceptionally strong at home, so it's been a bit of we kind of got ourselves back in it, and then it slipped away before, but it's still lots of racing to go, and we'll just keep fighting. We want that championship, so it's going to go down to the wire.
You've got a run of gates 1 and 3 in the second half of the meeting. Is that going to be an advantage, do you think?
I hope so. There's always that kind of headache of gate choices, heat 15, etc. But you know what, you've got to go off them all. Really hope that swings in our favour. We really need to pull a few points back. Get level and at least apply some pressure to the Poole boys in the later heats.
Got 1 and 3 in the next one, so you can see how it goes here.
Let's go for the 5-1.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, they do have 1 and 3 in the next race, Matty Zagar and Max Frick, and Scotty Nichols wants his side to hit the 5-1 here, but they're up against Dakota North and the Grand Prix star Matsy Janowski as well.
Yeah.
Good speedway here, excellent to watch, big crowd, and still a close contest with 6 heats to go.
Yeah, it is, and here's an opportunity for the aces to just pull some of the points back here, because Janowski's out and he's ridden very well, but he's got gate 4. Gate 4 is difficult, and where they're riding now, Nichols was almost on the air fence. The dirt is wider than normal, the inside line is slicker than normal, so it is proving to be very difficult and challenging. If you don't get there, you could find it very difficult to overtake subsequently. Zagar, who's ridden strongly but has only scored a couple of points so far, he's now on an inside gate, and I'm sure he's relishing that because he's found it tough so far.
Well, I say time flies when you're having fun, but Kelvin's gone quickly so far, hasn't it?
It's rattling along.
Yep.
And you're absolutely correct. You can't take your eyes off it. No bad races tonight at all. And the last half a dozen races have been absolutely out of the top draw.
Now, can Bellevue get a win out of their #1 Grand Prix man? Matty Zagar is in the inside gate. Gate 2 in red is Dakota North for the Poole Pirates. Gate 3, yellow and black, is Max Frick for Bellevue. And going off the outside in blue is Matsy Janowski for the Poole Pirates. Another huge race coming up. Heat number 10, the Bellevue boys watching on in the pits area. Josh Grzonik and Craig Cook watching on down in the pits area. Can Zagar deliver from gate #1? There's pressure on him to do so here, Kel.
There is, yeah, he's in the box seat. We've seen plenty of race wins from there. He must be looking forward to it. He'll understand exactly what it's all about coming off the inside gate. Frick on gate 3, pressure on Janowski on the outside.
There is indeed. Here we go then. Heat number 10, 6 points. The Poole Pirates lead Bellevue. Big race in his North's made a beauty. Dakota North is there, but so is Zagar now. Zagar has the advantage. Watch out here for Janowski. 3 abreast down the back straight. And the man in blue charging hard is Matsy Janowski. Now Zagar's going to try and come back on the inside of him in the home straight, and he's done him. Done it superbly. Now Janowski coming back for more. Down the back straight. What a ride from Matsy Janowski.
Fabulous speedway out in front, swapping places twice on the opening lap. The GP boys really going at it. Zagar now coming on strong. Janowski off the outside. This is an inspirational ride from him. It's not over because Zagar's there, hunting him down in second place. What a ride from him. Dakota North in third. Oh! How tight's that?
For goodness me, they're really winding it on here. Zagar down the back straight. Every point vital. He's going to go wide into the turn. He's got to try and chop up the inside. Janowski's done it. Janowski's done it up. That was a great speedway race from the GP boys. Matsy Janowski and Matty Zagar.
Well, that speedway, it doesn't get much better than that. That proper speedway there from Janowski and Zagar. Janowski there coming from gate 4, had to dig deep, really showing his class. Comes up with a magical ride, and they really need it. It's a 4-2 and it's useful. Zagar did everything he possibly could. Fantastic effort from the Slovenian in second place, with Dakota North back in third, but Magic Janowski showing fantastic ability to get to the there.
Janowski the winner with Matty Zagar second, Dakota North third, Max Frick at the back. That is a 4-2 in favour of the home side. And Matsy Janowski is really inspiring his side as skipper. They lead by 8 points with just 5 heats of this grand final to go.
Off the outside, he comes charging around the outside. Zagar slams the door shut, so he swaps to the inside. Forces his way up there, but runs in hot. Going into turn 3 and runs wide. Argy-bargy going into the first corner between North and Zagar. Zagar knows what he needs to do. Tries to kill the momentum. Janowski reads it. Now Janowski up the inside, runs in fast on the inside, drifts across. That allows Zagar to read it. He then decides to go to the inside, gets himself back to the front. But this is the magic from Janowski now. Switching back to the inside as it comes off turn 2 for the second time. Gets himself back to the front. Zagar really did make the Polish boy work awfully hard. What a timing there from Janowski. Supreme move from him.
Yeah, brilliant ride indeed. Zagar and Janowski going head-to-head here. Fantastic ride indeed. Some superb speedway. You can't take your eyes off it. And crowd really enjoying it here tonight. Huge crowd it is, thousands of fans packed into the Wimborne Road track, and this was right down to the checkered flag.
Brilliant.
Yeah, superb, and two riders who graced the Grand Prix scene, but here in the Elite League tonight, Janowski and Zagar right down to the finish line, and look what it meant to Neil Middleditch as well. That is something special. Well, on Monday night, the Bellevue Aces were 10 points down with 3 races to go in Manchester. They are going to have to dig deep and do something similar now, Kelv.
They are, because the Pirates are showing what they're all about now. They came under terrific pressure, and the Aces rode supremely well to get back in it after a difficult start. But wow, how those Pirates have fought back, and the way Janowski has ridden in his last 2 rides, that's inspiring his team.
Well, there's 5 races to go to decide the Elite League title here at Poole. The Pirates hold the upper hand by 8, but Bellevue won't go away. Join us for heat number 11, and indeed the last 5 heats of the grand final. It's coming up when we come back. Welcome back here to Wimborne Road. It's Grand Final Speedway. It's the second leg, and the Poole Pirates have just edged ahead again by 8 points after a Bellevue rear guard. We've seen some fantastic racing. Huge ride here from Kasper Gomolski and Kyle Newman, getting a big 5-1 in heat number 8 to open the gap up to 6 points. That was huge. Scott Nichols, though, an inspired captain for Bellevue tonight. 2 wins from his 3 rides. That was a great race to get the better of Davey Watt in heat number 9. And then we just saw the Grand Prix boys, Janowski and Zagar, going head-to-head. Poole got a 4-2. Bellevue team talk, they know that they've still got an opportunity here, they've still got a chance if they dig deep as a team. Mark Lemon talking to his riders, trying to inspire them and instill the belief that with 5 heats to go they can still do this. Poole Pirates 34, Bellevue Aces 26, 5 heats to go. They did it on Monday, Kelvin, when they clawed it back. They were 10 down with 3 to go, and they staged a late rally. They're going to need something similar tonight.
Yeah, they do indeed, but it's just fallen slightly wrong for them. In actual fact, they could do with being 10 points down now, because they could then use Craig Cook in heat 11 as a tactical ride. 8 points down, you can't do it. After heat 11, that's your last chance. So slightly unfortunate for the Aces, but what we did see on Monday night was this fabulous turnaround in the last 3 races. Tough to see that happening again, but they have done it once. Can they do it twice?
Well, they're taking us down to the latter stages of the grand final. Simon Stead is with us again. Simon, you started the season with Bellevue in your second spell with the club. What can your old club do about this now? It's 8 points, it's still possible, Simon. What are your thoughts?
It's still possible, Nigel. It's look, they've got the favoured gate positions in the next few heats. They need to take full advantage out of that. Bring it right back, you know, they can take it right to the wire. If they make the most out of the next few heats, having the favoured gate positions 1 and 3, then they can bring it right back into contention. It's all there. It's still they're still there in contention, and they can still get it. They can still win the Elite League, and that's inspiration enough for any team.
Yeah, Simon, it's been a brave effort from the Aces so far. Craig Cook has been an inspirational rider for them. We were chatting about him prior to the meeting starting. He hasn't
him on Monday. He was absolutely superb, apart from that 1 crash, and then at Somerset last night he was unbeaten, smashed the track record there. So he's in fine form at the moment, and they can look to him in these next couple of heats for some big heats.
Simon, thanks very much. Simon Stead with us again tonight with expert analysis down there trackside. Heat number 11 is coming up here. They do need a moment of magic in Craig Cook here, but they're up against some real tough opposition. Josh Grzonek goes off the inside in white. The 2012 world champion Chris Holder, gate 2 in red, but has only got 2 plus a bonus from 2 rides. Craig Cook, gate 3 in yellow and black. He will give it everything, and this is going to be worth watching. Take my word for it. Davey Watt going off the outside in blue for Poole. We've only had 10 heats, but the crowd have already had the money's worth, Kel.
No, absolutely. You know, the admission fee has been certainly well and truly lived up to. Craig Cook has been involved in some super speedway so far this evening, and I wouldn't put it past him winning this one, you know. He's in such strong form coming out of gate 3. He could get himself to the front, and I get the feeling if he gets to the front, it'll be awfully difficult to pass. Holder, who had a very strong ride with Watt in heat 1, but they came off gates 1 and 3 that time. Touch more difficult, you would suggest, coming off gates 2 and 4 with Davey Watt on the outside. I get the feeling it's a strong partnership for the Pirates, but it's an opportunity here for the Aces on gates 1 and 3. Grzonek made a strong start and made Janowski work really hard to get the better of him last time. He's on the inside. The Aces need a heat advantage.
Here we go then, a huge race coming out of heat number 11 of the grand final. And away from the start they go. Grzonek's there, Cook is there as well. Watt's gone wide. Now Cook goes wide around the outside. Team riding needed here. They're on a 5-1. This grand final isn't done yet, folks. Bellevue scrapping away. Craig Cook inspired. Here comes Holder. Chris Holder on the inside of Josh Grzonek, who holds the line. Has Holder done enough? Yes, he has.
Holder up the inside in the second place once again. Cook is riding brilliantly out in front. He fired himself out of gate 2 and he's firing away out in front. Chris Holder ride really strongly to get the better of Josh Grzonek. He's just limiting the damage a little bit. They really did need that, but Craig Cook once again is inspirational out in front.
It'll climb back to a 6-point deficit with 4 heats to go. Grzonek has to hold out for 3rd spot. Craig Cook has carved up the opposition in heat 11. Wonderful ride from Craig Cook. He is on tip-top form tonight. Chris Holder works overtime to pass Josh Grzonek. Super speedway again.
Yeah.
Davey Watt at the back on that occasion, but Bellevue get it back to 6 points, and Craig Cook has kept his team's hopes alive in spectacular style in heat number 11.
Well, is this the moment that Craig Cook is really coming of age? He's not a young man in speedway terms. He's 28 years of age, but at this level, he hasn't always produced the business or done the business. But I've got to say, this is the best I've ever seen him ride, and he has had a fabulous evening so far. He was terrific on Monday. He rode brilliantly in his first ride to get that 2nd place, and that was a huge ride from the British rider there, giving his team every chance of battling their way back into this grand final. Sensational.
8 points out of 9 for Craig Cook, and absolutely wonderful. Cook the winner, Chris Holder was 2nd, Josh Grzonek was 3rd, and Davey Watt at the back. It's 36 points to 30, 6-point gap, 4 to go.
Tight into the first corner. Davey Watt was nearly there, but Craig Cook was so full of confidence, slams the door shut, steams down the back straight, and his partner joins him there. Grzonek had to work hard, getting to the first corner. Gates 1 and 3 working nicely here. Holder and Watt won nicely in heat 1 off of gates 1 and 3, but they find it much more difficult this time. Holder rides strongly to get the better of Josh Grzonek, who gets a bit out of shape at the same moment. But Craig Cook, not only is he out in front, but he's cleared off out in front. Here we see this move again from Grzonek on the outside, hanging on to 2nd place, runs a little bit wide, actually clips a fence there, just kills his momentum, and Chris Holder takes full advantage, coming through into 2nd place. Cook's a star. What a ride from him. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, absolutely inspired. The Bellevue fans doing an old war cry with the ACES. The Aces really getting behind the side. And here's Chris Louis.
Craig, every time this Poole side edge towards the comfort zone, you inspire the Aces back into it.
We need to, you know, I believe we can win this. You know, we've made it hard for ourselves, obviously, with not coming with a decent lead, but yeah, we've got a capable team to go out and win this. You know, I've got things going now. Been working hard with Aztec this year, so thank you, Ashley. These engines are awesome, mate. I can't thank you enough.
it's not just your teammates that you're inspiring, you're out there after the races, geeing up the Bellevue fans. I mean, they're making a lot of noise out there, almost becoming the 8th rider for you guys.
These guys pay my wages. I want these guys to make some noise. You know, these guys are inspiring me, and you know, and as I'm trying to inspire the team, these guys are inspiring us. So hopefully we can keep it going. 4 heats left, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Great stuff, thanks, Craig.
Well,
It is
they
great
have
stuff,
turned out
isn't
in
it?
big numbers, haven't they, Bellevue? The fans have come down from Manchester, a long old trip.
Well, I think the last 3 heats on Monday night gave them the impetus and gave them the inspiration to come, because when they pulled it back to 46 all, they just couldn't miss the return leg. And as I say, I look to my right, and they're 5, 6, 7 deep as far as the eye can see, and they really are making their presence felt. Craig Cook has given them something to shout about. We're up to heat number 12 now, a repeat of heat number 2. Stefan Nilsson has ridden strongly tonight, and this meeting is far from over. The Aces, just when you think they're slipping away and the Pirates really heap pressure on them, they come battling back, and inspirational rides from Cook has kept them just in it.
Problem for Paul Stark, and the 2 minutes time allowance is well and truly underway. Starkey's pit crew looked very concerned there. It's going to have to be a change of bike, Kelvin. I'm not quite sure where we're at with the 2 minutes right now as to how long's left, but concern in the Poole camp there as Stark comes back. He's got another minute. We're halfway through and he's got another minute.
Yeah, no real panic, but not ideal having to change his bike when he's been so successful on the one he chose. So this is a possible weakness now for the Pirates. Neil Middleditch will be concerned about the fact that although they've got that 6-point lead, they don't want to allow the Aces to get back in it. The Pirates, hugely successful in the last 10 years. They're the reigning champions. They're going for a hat-trick of wins. They're in there, they're in the lead. They need to stay there.
Kyle Newman off gate 1, Stefan Nielsen off gate 2 in yellow and black for Bellevue, Paul Stark for the Poole Pirates gate 3 in red, and Stevie Worrell going off the outside in white for Bellevue. It is key here that Poole have got gates 1 and 3, and therefore you have to fancy them here in heat number 12.
You do, and Carl Newman on the inside, he knows what it takes to win races. Paul Stark on his spare bike hasn't even done a practice start. That concerns me. I would have done that myself just to get a feel for the equipment. Green light coming on now.
Here we go, heat number 12 it is, and they're away first time of asking. Great start from Worrell off the outside, but Newman is there. Kyle Newman holds the line. Now what can Steve Worrell do? Can he get round the outside of Newman? Because Stefan Nielsen is there. Paul Stark on that second machine is not really making too much of an impression. Now, Newman, Worrell, Nielsen, it's a 3-all as things stand.
It is indeed. Carl Newman doing the business for the Pirates. They desperately needed it. That change of equipment at the last minute for Paul Stark has created an issue. Didn't get away from the tapes too well, and he's out the back. Worrell made a great start from the outside, but just couldn't quite get there. And Carl Newman, this is really what they needed from the Pirates, just to keep the Aces at bay.
But Bellevue have got gates 1 and 3 in the next 2 heats after this. Heats 13 and 14, Bellevue have got the better gates. Kyle Newman's going to win the race. Now, Paul Stark, one big dive to give it everything. Can Stark come through to the line? Or are Bellevue going to hold out? They do. It's a 3-all. This grand final is still alive with 3 heats to go. Poole hold the upper hand, but Bellevue have got the better gate positions in the next 2 races.
Yeah, it's still perfectly possible, isn't it, for the Aces? Great ride from Carl Newman. Really needed it. Had the inside gate and took full advantage. Certainly wasn't sure because as they went down the back straight, I thought that Steve Worrell might be able to get there, but Carl Newman coming up with a very strong ride, and he needed to because his teammate with the problems and having to change his bike just before this heat, it was a little bit awkward. Second and third for the Aces. Looks like Worrell. Oh, it's very tight indeed. No, Nielsen actually gets second. Nielsen gets second with Stevie Worrell in third, with Paul Stark out the back. As you rightly say, Nigel, 6 points in it. Gates 1 and 3 to the Aces in 13 and 14. There's plenty of action to come.
6-point gap. If Bellevue can get a heat advantage in the next 2 heats, we are going down to a last heat decider for the Elite League title. Kyle Newman, Stefan Nielsen, Stevie Worrell, Paul Stark. That is a 3-all. Poole Pirates 39, Bellevue 33, and just 3 heats remain in the grand final. Here's Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, Kyle obviously paranoid about his goggles. He's still wearing them now, having had a problem at Bellevue. You needed those 3 points because Bellevue are just not letting this go.
No, you know, fair play to Bellevue. They've come here and they've taken it to us, and it's a lot harder than we think. And yeah, we just need to keep plugging away, keep getting those 3 frees, and get the win in the end.
And Bellevue have maybe had the upper hand in the next couple of heats because they've got gate positions 1 and 3.
Yeah, 1 and 3 are really not really good. That's the only sort of 2 real starts I've made all night, and you know, our boys have just got to be smart. We know this track. We've got to pick the lines. We know what the team's capable of doing here, and you know, but we also know what Bellevue's capable. So it's going to be tough, but I think the boys can do it.
Keep going. Thanks, Carl.
Cheers. Thanks.
Well, brilliant stuff here at Wimborne Road this evening, and with Bellevue having those favoured gate positions now in heats 13 and 14, could we see a last heat decided? The Bellevue fans away to the left of our studio, they certainly believe that they can take them all the way, Kel.
They do, and they have every encouragement to think so, because they are got riders coming out here that are in fine form. Cook, of course, we've spoken a lot about him. He has been terrific. Zagar battled really hard with Janowski last time out. That was a terrific race, and Janowski had to work very hard to get the better of Matti Zagar. Holder was second last time. Hasn't had a great night, Chris Holder, and I do believe that, yeah, he's going from the outside gate, so that doesn't bode well for him. He's going to have to come up with something very special indeed. Gates 1 and 3 are providing more race wins and more points right now, and the aces have got it. And in Zagar and Cook, they've got every chance here of getting a heat advantage. Pressure on the home team. They've got a 6-point lead, but there's no doubt that this could be a crucial race in the outcome of this year's grand final.
Craig Cook off the inside in yellow and black has dropped just 1 point so far. Matt Sayanovsky, gate 2 in blue. They need some magic from him. Matti Zagar needs to come to the party as the Bellevue number 1 off gate 3 in white. Chris Holder, former world champion, goes off the outside in red. What a fantastic lineup for heat 13. And it's not really unfair to say, Kelvin, that the whole season, the whole title race could hinge on this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that at all. It could be very pivotal. If the home team get a heat advantage, it's probably job done just about. But Craig Cook, I'm sure, is going to have plenty to say. You know, there are 3 current Grand Prix riders on the start line, but for me, Cook could be a favourite for this race. The way he's riding, the speed he's generating on the track, it wouldn't surprise me at all that he comes out a winner. Zagar, of course, is key for him. Can he get there alongside him and block out the moves? Janowski's been inspirational as a captain for the Pirates. He's battled hard coming through from behind, but those stats are very important. 1 and 3 are working well. The aces have got them, and they need them to come good right now.
The biggest heat of the Elite League season so far.
Yep.
This is heat 13. Poole 39, Bellevue 33. Bellevue off gates 1 and 3. Poole off gates 2 and 4. Huge heat coming up, heat number 13. What a start that is from the man in blue, Matt Sayanovsky. That is a stunning start from the pole. And now here comes Matti Zagar in white. He's got to try and get past the pole captain here with Chris Holder trailing at the back. Matt Sayanovsky going into lap 2. Holds the advantage right now.
What a start from Matti Zayanovsky out of gate 2. Slammed the door shut over Craig Cook going into the first corner. Holder once again, gate 4 is proving to be awfully tough, but Janowski's a star for the home team. He has shown fabulous class. Zagar coming on strong, very nearly running in the back of Janowski, but this is a supreme ride for Magic Janowski.
Craig Cook is going to take up the challenge with 1 lap to go. Has he got enough in the tank here? He's trying the inside line. Cook is going to have 1 last go, but Janowski surely has done enough already. Matt Sayanovsky is going to maintain a 6-point advantage for the Poole Pirates with 2 heats to go. Big win for Janowski. Huge win. And now it's down to Josh Krajonic and Scott Nichols in heat 14 for Bellevue. If we're to take it now to a last heat decider here at Wimborne Road. What a night, but what a ride from Matt Sayanovsky there.
Janowski has been inspirational this evening, Nigel. His races have been terrific. He hasn't had it all his own way. He's had to battle through the traffic at times. The previous match-up with Zagar was terrific, possibly the race of the night when they passed each other 2 or 3 times, but that was something special away from the tapes from Janowski. Delivered when he really needed to.
Janowski, the race winner. Craig Cook was second with Matty Zagar third. Chris Holder at the back. Heat 14 will decide whether we go to a last heat decider or whether Poole Pirates are crowned champions.
What a start from Janowski. Gets to the first corner, slams the door shut in front of Cook. Zagar just can't quite get there. They really do chase hard. It's all about the reaction away from the tapes, and the Polish man, he reacts first and gets there, slams the door shut in front of Craig Cook, and they can't quite land a blow. Holder, unfortunately, the head coming from the outside, just can't quite get there, but Janowski had to do this. The aces were in the box seat, they had gates 1 and 3, and Janowski comes up with something a little bit extra special. All credit to him.
Well, this is the race, Heat 14, where Poole could win the league, or will it be that Bellevue take it the distance? Heat 14 on the way. Let's hear from the Poole manager, Neil Middleditch, now with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Neil, I got a feeling before this meeting even started, you knew it was going to go down to the wire. Quick word about Magic Janowski, your skipper, though. He's been inspirational.
Yeah, absolutely. Magic by name, Magic by nature, isn't he? Yeah, tremendous ride again from Magic. So, yeah, it's closer, but not quite close enough yet.
Yeah, basically the aces are going to need a heat advantage in this one. They've finished the meeting possibly with a better gate, so really under pressure.
Yeah, they do. You look down the programme and you see they've got the better gates, and they look very strong team-wise, as they proved on Monday at Bellevue. But, you know, it's a grand final. Our boys are pumped.
And if they can get in a heat advantage here, then they'll also have choice of gates in Heat 15.
Yeah, that's right. But, you know, say it is a grand final. But, you know, my boys are really up for it. And, well, us the Bellevue boys are, I'm sure. But it's close.
Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Chris.
We've got to heat number 14, and unless Bellevue get a race advantage here, Poole are champions. A 3-all, Poole have done it. A race advantage for Bellevue, and we're going to heat number 15. You can feel the tension.
You can, and you felt it all night in truth, because it's been flip-flopping both ways this evening, and all credit to both teams. They really have turned up and delivered some extra special entertainment for us and all the thousands of people here this evening. It is a vital Heat 14, Dakota North, and Gomolski could clinch the league title for the reigning champions, or will Scott Nichols and Groshonik just keep us waiting right down to a sudden death Heat 15? Really has been an entertaining night. Magic Janowski, I must mention him. He's been unbeaten in his last 3 rides, Nigel.
Brilliant.
And he has shown genuine world class to do that. He was inspirational in them winning last year, and so far his efforts have been terrific again this evening.
Yeah, he's writing himself into legendary status with Poole supporters. They're off and they're being pushed away towards the track here. Just to remind you, Bellevue have to get a race advantage here. Anything else, and Poole Pirates will win the league title here in heat number 14. It's taken us 29 races to get this far. This is where it could be decided, or will we go the distance to 30 heats? It needs a race advantage. Scott Nichols needs to make the start and look for his partner, Josh Groshonik. They're off the favoured gates 1 and 3. This is a huge heat 14, Kelvin Tatum.
It is, it's crunch time, certainly for the Bellevue Aces, and they've got their captain out in the inside gate. He is in the best gate on the track, and he's ridden really well for those 7 points this evening. Gomolski bouncing back after injury, but there's no doubt Nichols needs to come good now.
What a night it's been, and still 1 or 2 twists and turns to come. Nichols, Gomolski, Groshonik and North. Bellevue off gates 1 and 3 in yellow and white helmet colours here. And Poole are off gates 2 and 4. Scott Nichols has ridden beautifully, Kelvin, but can Josh Groshonik join him here? This is a huge ride for the Australian rider off gate number 3.
Well, Groshonik started slowly, but in his last 2 rides, he actually could have had more than that. He got past a couple of times after making strong starts, so he knows how to get off the tapes, and if he gets to the first corner now with Nichols, you'd have to believe that they would get a heat advantage out of it. Gomolski is a little bit of an unknown quantity for me, possibly just carrying a slight injury from Monday, but he's a little bit hit and miss. Dakota North, you'll know he'll give everything, but gate 4 is a problem. It's so slick on the run to the first corner. It's difficult to get yourself there and get amongst the points. Nichols on the inside has a huge part to play here. Needs to get there. He's got to hope and keep his fingers crossed that Groshonik is there or thereabouts.
Bellevue need a race advantage, or Poole are champions. It's a simple equation. It's heat 14. Bellevue off the favourite gates 1 and 3. Can they make it count here? A huge moment in the 2015 Elite League Speedway season is here. And now, heat number 14. Who's going to make the start? Kowalski is there, but now Groshonik is going high around the outside. Just Groshonik gets there. Does he down the back straight? Oh, it's a real battle now. And this is the moment now, surely, as Kasper Kowalski comes through with a super ride, and Scott Nichols is at the back right now. Oh,
coming in the back off the track. Needs to, because Kowalski's out in front. Yes, he's just going to be able to do it. Kowalski made a fabulous start. Out of gate 2, Groshonik coming on strong in second place. Dramatic speedway once again.
Down the back straight, the man in white is Josh Groshonik. He's trying absolutely everything, but the man in blue is Kasper Kowalski. Now we're into the last lap. If it stays like this, Poole are champions. Kasper Kowalski could be the league winner here for the Poole Pirates. Into turns 3 and 4 we go. It's going to be the Poole Pirates who make it 3 league titles on the bounce. Many congratulations to the Poole Pirates. They are the 2015 Elite League Speedway champions.
Well, fabulous ride at Speedway, really have been royally entertained. Kasper Kowalski was on his backside, wasn't even sure if he was going to ride this evening. A hat-trick of league titles now for this hugely successful club since the introduction of the playoffs. Kasper Kowalski makes himself a hero. It's been a fabulous night. He made a terrific start off of gate 2 there. Really was a super effort from him. Been a great all-round effort though from the whole team, and rightly so. They are going to enjoy this moment.
So they should. Really has been a brave effort from Bellevue. They've taken it to heat 14, and it really has been a magnificent night. But it's the Poole Pirates, the modern-day giants of Speedway.
Yeah.
3 league titles in the Elite League on the trot. That takes some doing, and I'm sure they're going to be back for more next year as well.
Absolutely, but what a start from Kasper Kowalski. Dropped the clutch so early and ripped out of gate 2. Got himself to the front. Groshonik was riding out of his skin in second place. All over him, really pushing on strong, but the Polish man out in front, after a disappointing night on Monday, comes back and makes himself a hero.
Let's get some reaction with Chris Lee.
I'm down here right now on the track with a jubilant Neil Milovic. Neil, we've been here before 7 times, I believe. You're shaking. Every single one is as much as the last, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've got a feeling this one's a little bit more special. I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
Compose yourself. I know you want to tell us why.
Yes, for you, Darcy. We love you, man. Yeah, this one's for you. Love you.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to give you a moment to compose yourself, and we're going to have a chat. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, brilliant from Neil Middleditch. Darcy Ward is remembered by the Poole Pirates tonight, and Simon Stead can have a chat with Poole's Matt Ford now. Simon.
Yeah, I'm down with a very happy Matt Ford, mate. What does that mean to you?
Oh, everything. After the year that we've had with Darcy in particular, you know, it's such a great feeling to win, and D-Dub, we've done this for you, man. You know, you sent me that message just before we started. Thanks, man, and that's all we needed.
Yeah, massive performance from all your riders tonight. You knew it was going to be tough, level from the first one, but you knew Bellevue was going to bring it to you. Just a word on the riders.
Fantastic performance by Bellevue. What a team. I mean, Craig Cook, my goodness me. You know, he is the man in form in the whole league, isn't he? Him and Magic, maybe. But tremendous. I mean, well done to them. What a great performance. Did so well last week as well, a couple of days ago as well, to come back. But, you know, track wasn't quite how we normally have it tonight, and I think you said it in your preview that we didn't quite get it right. In fact, it was a little slick for us. So, but no, tremendous team performance. All of them have done so well. Really over the moon. Ready Power Pirates, Rick Frost, Julie Mahoney, thank you so much for all they've done for the club. It's just great news.
Congratulations, mate. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Simon. Kasper, a man of few words, but that was a very important and big race win in your career. Well done.
I can't believe it. It's a really good start, and come on, go fast, and inside, outside. It's my line, and really good start there. I can't believe it.
Before this meeting, you didn't even know if you were going to ride. You weren't 100% fit. That all seems to be fine now.
Yeah, it's my to hit today is not good in shit race, and I'm a big change. My third three hit and first hit and win, and I don't know.
Congratulations. Go and celebrate.
Thank you.
Back to you, Simon.
Yeah, I've got Chris Holder down here, mate. Not the best night for you, but it's a team sport, mate, and you've managed to do it.
Yeah, thank God for that. I was shocking tonight, but yeah, the boys did awesome. Ginge stood up to the plate. He had a rough one on Monday, and we were praying that he'd do something in that race, and he pulled out one out the bag, so fair play to him.
Mate, obviously it's an emotional night for the club with what's going on with Darcy and what have you. I know you're best pals with him. Got a word for him?
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching and probably laughing at my performance, but obviously that was for you, brother. You're a big part of here, and we're always thinking about you, and we'll come see you soon, bro. Take it easy.
Massive congratulations, mate. Back to Chris.
Thanks, Simon. Mark, obviously you're disappointed, but your lads did themselves proud. I mean, they took it all the way to Poole.
Yeah, and all year they've done that. You know, the passion they've shown this year and the determination and you know, the aptitude has just been wonderful. You know, we've had the same 1 to 7, obviously minus Simon Stead, who got hurt, you know, early in the season. But since then they've battled away, kept plugging away, took a little step back to come 2 steps forward, and there's no disgrace being here tonight and being beaten by Poole. Let's face it, they have been the benchmark, and unfortunately Bikin still are the benchmark of British Speedway, but hopefully that's going to change in the years to come. But no, credit to Midlow and all the boys. You know, obviously I know a lot of them personally, worked with a lot of them, ridden with most of them. You know, it's I can't take their victory away from them, but real proud of our guys, the way they performed. But obviously to be 13 points down in the first leg really hurt us.
Well, congratulations on making the final, and unlucky.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, bud.
Yeah, 13 down after 6 heats of leg 1, and yet they've taken it to the 29th race. They were 14-4 down after 3 heats tonight. So it's quite remarkable that we've gone this distance.
It is, and that's all credit to Mark Lemon and his men. They put an enormous amount of pressure on this team, and I think that's why the celebrations, not only the emotional scenario with Darcy Ward, I also think that you know, the joy on the faces of the Poole Pirates is a certain amount of relief as well, because there's no question that the Aces have made them work awfully hard. You know, they started so strongly, the home team, this evening, but the way that the Aces then battled back into it was remarkable. Maciej Janowski there, number 5 on his back. A quick word about him again. He has been brilliant. He led the team to victory last year, and he's done it again in fine style tonight.
And what a heat to decide it. Heat number 14, it was, well, as you say, Kel, right out of the top draw.
Right out of the top draw, and a proper bit of speedway here, because there's no question that Gomolski makes an absolutely fabulous start. I thought for a moment Groszonek was going to get round the outside, but all credit to the Polish boy. He's able to just hold his line going into turn 3, allows the bike across into the dirt. Nichols doesn't quite get away as well as he would have liked. Gomolski drops the clutch right. Groszonek is right there. He's in the dirt, Groszonek. I thought for a moment he was going to get there, but as I say, Gomolski rides brilliantly there to get himself into the front. He's a little bit wild. I've got to feel that he was feeling the nerves there. Dakota North does remarkably well here to get up. They really did need to get up there. We saw a scenario on Monday, of course, when a rider didn't get up. So in this case, it was a very different set of circumstances. Gomolski out in front. He makes himself a hero. Coming into tonight injured, but does the business. And Poole have won a hat-trick of league titles, Nigel. Hasn't been done for 43 years. Neil Middleditch and his men, well, they fully deserve it.
Yep, congratulations to the Poole Pirates. Kasper Gomolski celebrates, but what about the losing skipper? Has put in a great effort tonight. It's one of British Speedway's legends. Scott Nichols is with our man, Simon Stead.
Yeah, I'm down here with a disappointed Scott Nichols, but Scott, what an effort from you guys.
Yeah, we done ourselves proud. I mean, we was up against a tough team and coming here level, we knew it was going to be a tough ask, but the boys dug deep. We did the best we could. Congratulations to Poole. They were the better team over the two legs. You can't argue with that. So, disappointing, but when you look back, it's been a good season.
Well, Scott, it's obviously a disappointing way to end tonight. Lots to look forward to for Bellevue Speedway, new stadium next year, going into that on the back of a fantastic year this year, but lots to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, we've got the new stadium around the corner for next season, and it would have been so special to go in there as the champions, but to go in as runners-up is not so bad.
One better next year?
Definitely so, a new stadium. That's all you can do. Got to look forward. Tonight it's done and dusted. Again, congratulations to Poole, but we do ourselves proud.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Back to Kelvin and Nigel.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, and well done to Bellevue for the effort they put in tonight. And I just wonder, can the first Elite League meeting next year on Sky in Bellevue's new stadium, could it be Bellevue against Poole?
Well, you never know. You just never know. I'm sure there's every chance of that happening, and what a fitting opening meeting it would be to the 2016 season. It's been a fabulous grand final. The two legs have really done the sport proud. It's lived up to the title of it, hasn't it? The grand final. It really has been exciting stuff. We've got one more race to go.
I was just going to say, you're not going anywhere, are you?
No, not just yet.
You've got another race yet.
That's right, 8:15. I'd like to think that we'll see Janowski and Zagar going at it again. I can't get enough of that, but it's been top quality stuff, and it's done British Speedway proud tonight, the playoffs.
Yeah, very much so. Well done to both sides. We've still got the heat number 15 to come, Poole against Bellevue, and then we will see the trophy being presented to the Poole Pirates. Heat 15 then, when we come back. What a night. If you have just joined us, it's the Poole Pirates who have just about won the Elite League title with one race to go. It's gone 29 heats of the grand final, and Kasper Gomolski was the man who was the match winner in heat number 14. Huge celebrations all around Wimborne Road, and the Pirates have made it 3 league titles on the bounce. The first side to do that in 43 years. The last team to do it were the Bellevue Aces. Poole Pirates 45, Bellevue 39, and we still have heat 15 to come, and what a lineup it is as well. David Gordon, one of the owners of Bellevue Speedway, alongside the Poole manager Neil Middleditch there. Bellevue, though, with an exciting future ahead with their new stadium just around the corner. Heat 15 still to come. Yeah. It's all over in terms of the championship. You could say hard to motivate, perhaps, but normally it's over well before this. So credit Bellevue for keeping it going.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have a bright future, and they haven't won the grand final, but there's no doubt that this is a major boost to the Aces moving into a new home.
Desperate here off gate number 3 to end on a high. Only once, really, once or twice in the playoff history have we gone right down to the wire. The distance, heat number 15, and here we've got 29 heats to decide the Elite League title. It really has been a great effort by Bellevue, and we can but wonder what might have been if they hadn't gone 13 down after 6 heats of the first leg and 10 points down after 3 heats here tonight. What might have been?
What might have been indeed. They've made hard work for themselves in the last couple of meetings, but they've shown great character and resolve to battle their way back. If that hadn't have happened, then who knows, it could have been a different result. But you can't take it away from the Pirates. They are, it's not like this is their first appearance in a final. They make the final nigh on every year, so they are a hugely competitive side, and they have a winning ethic here that is very difficult to shake. Heat 15 coming up. Here we go.
Yep, heat number 15, smashing lineup it is, and it's a big start from Craig Cook. Second place there is Scott Nichols. How ironic it would be if Bellevue get a 5-1 here and only lose the league title by 2 points. Goodness me. The man in red is Matt Janowski, holding third place right now. Poole, of course, know the title is in the bag, but Cook and Nichols, the way they've ridden tonight, tonight. I think they deserve this, Kelvin.
Yeah, this is a nice little bit of a bonus at the end of the night for these two boys. Cook has been terrific. Scott Nichols has ridden brilliantly, as well as the captain. Cook has come alive. He's come of age for me. He has been fantastic in the two legs, and once again is flying out in front. Janowski missed the Sarkomolski, you can understand it. He was the hero in the previous race. He's done and dusted for the 9. Cook into the last lap, a 5-1, a little bit of a consolation for the Aces. A brilliant night at Speedway.
Well, I think it's going to be an appropriate scoreline for what we've seen over the last 3 nights, 2 meetings. Bellevue only lose the title by 2 points over 30 heats. Well done, Craig Cook. Well done, Scott Nichols. And the Bellevue fans very, very pleased with the efforts of their side tonight, and quite right too. That really was a great effort from Bellevue, and to only lose by 2 points at Bellevue, well, it is a great, great effort from the Bellevue Aces. But it's Poole Pirates, it's their night, they are the champions.
Yeah, absolutely. It was done after Heat 14, the home team, the home crowd rather, just on their feet. Jamolski, you can perfectly understand him not being able to compete so strongly in Heat 15. Cook and Nichols, though, that's a great way to finish for them. Their home fans are just to the right of us, are absolutely delighted with that and giving them a great reception as they come round, and the boys, they're just giving them their feelings as well. Terrific Speedway. What a night it's been. What 2 nights of fantastic Speedway. The weather's behaved, there's been healthy crowds. It really has been a terrific advert for the sport.
Yep, Matt Janowski, league title winner again for the Poole Pirates. In front of the main grandstand here, we've got the trophy presentation to come. Scott Nichols and Craig Cook, as Kelvin mentioned, came back to the Bellevue supporters to show their appreciation, and this will go down in the record books as one of the closest grand finals on record.
Absolutely.
2 points between them.
And you're dead right, Nigel, it's a fitting result, isn't it? The Aces have worked so hard and they have played their part, and they've made it extra special because they've made the Pirates, and this man in particular, the captain of the Pirates, Magic Janowski, who's had to produce magic on more than one occasion tonight to make sure that they sealed their hat-trick of league titles. He has been terrific. He was inspirational last year. You know, Darcy Ward was suspended. He took over the mantle of leading the team and he led them to victory. And he's pretty much done that again tonight. He had a disappointing evening on Monday at Bellevue. We only scored 4 points, but he's more than made up for that this evening. He has ridden brilliantly. The couple of clashes earlier on with Zagar particularly got the better of Josh Krashonik coming through the traffic. 2 outstanding races, so yeah, terrific stuff.
Well, the celebrations have already started here at Wimborne Road. The teams will be working their way out to the middle very shortly for the presentations of the league trophy here. Been a terrific night. Stick around for the trophy lift. It's coming up when we come back. Poole Pirates are the 2015 Elite League Speedway champions after a memorable night of racing here at Wimborne Road. They won the title by 2 points, just 2 points over 30 heats of dramatic Speedway in Manchester on Monday and here at Poole tonight. Matt Janowski went over to the fans to salute them. Huge crowd, and the Bellevue riders went over and showed their appreciation to the travelling Aces fans that have made the journey down tonight. Final score here in this second leg, Poole Pirates 46, Bellevue Aces 44. On aggregate, one of the closest grand finals of all time. It's finished 92 points to 90 in favour of the Poole Pirates. Well, 2 legs of Grand Final Speedway, and they have been played out to capacity crowds. Kirkmanshume Lane in Manchester on Monday, packed, and look at this at Wimborne Road. It's been full since, what, about half an hour before the start, Kelvin?
Yeah, it's been a beautiful day, and of course they came in here level pegging. It really was a shootout this evening, and that captured the imagination of the public. Plenty of travelling supporters down from Manchester. Of course, a huge home contingent, particularly on that home straight. What a night of Speedway it's been. Great gestures here for Darcy Ward with the T-shirts being worn on the parade and for the presentation. And a lot of the emotion, I'm sure, in the pits from Neil Middleditch and Matt Ford and Chris Holder, of course, who is a very close friend of Darcy's. It will be a special night for them. But it's been a terrific effort for Speedway because we have witnessed 2 outstanding Speedway meetings, and in large part to the Bellevue Aces, because they kept giving the Poole Pirates a head start. If they hadn't have done that, they could easily have been the champions themselves. But all credit to them, they battled back, and they did tremendously well to put a lot of pressure on the reigning champions.
Yep, we will see the trophy lift very shortly. Several contenders for man of the final. I mean, tonight, Craig Cook, I thought, was brilliant, but overall, over the 30 heats, who would you say is your... It's a tough one, isn't it, really? Who's your man of the final?
Tonight, I'd have to go for Janowski. I think he rode brilliantly.
But
after
over the 30 heats?
Over the 30 heats, I'd go for Craig Cook.
Yep. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's almost
he was unbeaten on Monday, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Only slipped off once. Apart from that, he won every race, and tonight he really was the inspiration on their comeback after they went down at the beginning of the meeting.
These are good scenes now. A lot of the crowd have stayed behind for this in the main grandstand here at Wimborne Road. The Bellevue boys are out there as well. This is what the 2015 season has all been about. Of course, the scoreline does show the narrowest of margins, but of course it was decided in Heat 14 here. If you have just joined us, Bellevue gave the Poole Pirates a real scare on home turf, home shale I should say, here at Wimborne Road.
They did indeed. They drew here in April, but Janowski was missing that day. He was injured, but they got awfully close to doing it again, and they have given the home team a fright. But you've got to speak about Pirates, and you've got to give them tremendous congratulations, because they keep doing this year on year, Nigel. Bellevue is a big club, but they haven't been in this position for 10 years. And you've got to say, in the last 10 years, the Poole Pirates have been winning or coming close to winning every single year, and that is hugely impressive.
And you've got to hope as well that the crowd that they got at Bellevue on Monday, that's reignited a lot of interest in Speedway in the Manchester area. Maybe fans that used to go that don't go anymore, they'll be there at the new stadium next March.
I spoke about it being impeccable timing. I think it is brilliant that they've had a successful run. They've made the grand final. Not easy going into a new home on the back of a very disappointing season. They've had a great run. I'm sure there's plenty of enthusiasm in Manchester for Speedway right now. And with a new stadium, probably going to be the best stadium in the country for Speedway, then all of a sudden it's a very rosy future for that neck of the woods. The Bellevue Aces, it has a very rich history, one of the biggest clubs in existence, and it's fitting they have a new home and a big future in front of them.
Meanwhile, it's over to the rest to try and topple Poole Pirates again next year. They keep doing it, and it's a fantastic achievement, because as you well know, Kel, the points limit comes into play. You have to move some riders on and bring new riders in to get under the points limit. It's a huge achievement.
It is, and I've said it just previously, you know, they keep producing a league-winning side, and as you rightly say, they have to rebuild the team every year on year. They have to move riders out and bring riders in. But Matt Ford and Neil Middleditch seem to have this knack of picking up the right riders and actually then being able to generate a winning team. It's a remarkable achievement. Kingsland, of course, they came close last year. I'm sure they'll be very keen to get back amongst it. Coventry Bees, who had a terrific season as well, just missing out.
Yep, well, it's presentation time. The Bellevue Aces are receiving their runners-up medals, and it really has been a fantastic effort. They pieced together a very, very impressive side, but then lost Simon Stead, who's with us here tonight, of course, and Josh Grzonik came in after helping out Poole in the early stages. Josh Grzonik came in and rode well. for Bellevue, Scotty Nichols, who still going strong and still at this level in the Elite League, a fine rider.
Absolutely, looking forward to the future. This man has been my man of the grand final 2 legs. Cook has been outstanding at home and here this evening. Super stuff from him. Stevie Worrell will be a touch disappointed. I'm sure he would have wanted to do slightly better than he has. Alec Harkness, of course, the chairman of the BSPA, handing over the loser medals. Stephen Nielsen started well. Didn't he have a good ride earlier on this evening? Really was a strong effort.
Yeah, Alec Harkness, who is also promoter of Edinburgh Monarchs, who won the League Cup at the weekend, has travelled down from Scotland to make the presentations here this evening. And there is the trophy that you can see, the Bellevue Aces, the beaten finalists, but heads held high, no doubt about that. It's been a fantastic effort from the Bellevue Aces, and now it's all about the presentation to the league champions here at Wimborne Road, who have really been magnificent. They topped the table, they finished top, they've also won the title, and there they are sporting the Darcy Ward t-shirt. Actually, it's 43 years since the hat-trick was last done, and 43 is Darcy Ward's racing number, and that's ironic in itself. And the t-shirts on display there, Get Well Darcy, who of course is in hospital having treatment on the spinal injuries that he sustained in Poland, but still a Poole Pirates legend, Darcy Ward.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's quite an omen, isn't it, that 43, and they pulled it off. The coach of North going up there. Gomolski, of course, makes himself a hero. What a ride that was in Heat 14 to seal the championship. The coach of North coming into the team, of course, the Swindon Robin before. Here's the captain, Nigel. He has been terrific this evening, and he is a tough man to beat. He doesn't drop many points at around Wimborne Road.
Yeah, fantastic rider, and with a bright future. Many regard him as a potential champion of the world in the future. Matt Zajanowski, no doubt about it. Paul Stark, who's had a great final as well, has played his part as much as anybody else in the Elite League title race, as has Kyle Newman, who's here, and Neil Middleditch, the team manager as well, being presented with the medals from Alec Harkness, the chairman of British Speedway, who's here tonight. And at any moment now, it will be the sweet taste of success for the Poole Pirates with the lift of what is a brand new trophy for the Elite League champions this year there that you can see. Matt Zajanowski will come across and lift the trophy. Very special moment. Kelvin, you did it twice with Coventry back-to-back, but to do it 3 times on the trot is absolutely amazing.
It's very rare, isn't it? It's 43 years since it was done before by the Bellevue Aces in the early 70s, so yeah, it's a very special time for them. And Neil Middleditch, what a run he's had, what success he's had. 7 league titles, it really is quite an outstanding, quite a special achievement for him. This club is going from strength to strength. It doesn't appear to have any weaknesses at all. They come on strong and they know how to win. Great scenes. I'm sure they're going to celebrate long and hard into the night. 1 or 2 of the Grand Prix boys, of course, have got to get on aeroplanes tomorrow to go to Poland, so we'll have to look after themselves a little bit, but fully deserved. And congratulations to the Poole Pirates.
Been a remarkable era under Matt Ford, who took over from the Peter Stooksbury promotion, Mervyn Stooksbury, Pete Ansell promotion. What, about 15 years or so ago now, and he took over with Mike Golding at the time. Now it's Charles Hartwell, Gordon Pearman and Matt Ford. And Neil Middleditch has been the constant team manager throughout the glory years here. These will go down as the great days of Poole Speedway in the history of the club.
Indeed, it is, and it's a special achievement. They've won, of course, grand finals with riders like Tony Rickards and Lee Adams in the past, but there's no doubt that this hat-trick of wins with the emotional attachment to Darcy Ward, I do believe this will go down as one of their sweetest victories.
Let's head to Chris Louis.
Yeah, I'm just photobombing the championship winning picture. Middle-o, 3 on the trot. I mean, it's hard to retain a title in Speedway with the rules. Having to split up a championship winning team for 3 times was magnificent, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. It's an amazing fact. 43 years since Bellevue won it. Darcy's number. 4 and 3, 7 times title. 7 titles we won. That's for Darcy.
Cracking stuff. You've got to love these boys, haven't you?
Yeah, boys. You love that. I love them. I love them.
Couldn't do it. I don't think he does.
Yeah, brilliant stuff here for the Poole Pirates. Matt Ford there on the end of the team shot. celebrating the sweet taste of success here with Gordon Pearman and Giles Hartwell, the other men behind Poole Speedway with Neil Middleditch as well. And you can be sure that they'll already be planning next season under the team guidelines as to try and come back and make it 4 on the trot.
Absolutely, they won't want to let that league title go away. They're a hugely successful club. Got to say, you know, they seem to be able to cope with all sorts of dramas. We've seen Greg Hancock come in and win league titles here. They had injury problems last year and they relied on guests, but they still managed to do the business under terrific pressure when it was looking like Kings Lynn were going to run away with it. And earlier this season, the Coventry Bees, you've got to have a word about them. They were enjoying a terrific run of form, but just got beaten by the Poole Pirates and had to do it the hard way, haven't they? They beat the Coventry Bees in the semi-finals. Fabulous night of Speedway. Really has been some outstanding racing this evening, and it does well, it just sums up that the grand final and the playoffs make the riders produce something very special.
What a season. We've seen good crowds up and down the country wherever Sky Sports have been. Some fantastic racing in the grand final. A real fitting finale here at Wimborne Road Poole tonight. Well done to Bellevue. Well done to all the clubs in British Speedway who entertain the fans up and down the country. And we look forward to seeing you again in the 2016 season when we're sure it will be something special again. Have a great winter.
Good night.